Let's face it, buying a vehicle should be straightforward and stress-free, and that's exactly how Two Rivers Ford has been doing business for decades. This locally owned dealership has a non-commissioned sales team whose only focus is to find you the right vehicle at the right price without the pressure. So you'll actually have a fun car buying experience. Great prices, easy financing, and a non-commissioned sales team. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer. Good morning. Welcome into 104.5 The Zone. How do I get one of these Titans colonoscopy T-shirts that 3HL was wearing the other day? Did you see that? That was excellent. Well done by them. I suppose the three of us are not of age to have a colonoscopy, unless, Robert, you've just done it for fun.
No, but don't they look like they'd feel good?
No.
Like just to get all of that out of you? You don't think that would feel good?
What are they getting? No, they're not getting anything out of you, right? Unless I'm unfamiliar with the process of a colonoscopy. Aren't they sticking something up you?
Oh, maybe I'm thinking about an enema. We could have enema Mondays.
That just sounds messy.
You wouldn't want to have a coffee enema?
No, because then people will start to give us likes on the YouTube channel to watch Lucas get an enema. Like, I'm worried that that's the direction that this is heading. He's already tried to put his Venmo in the YouTube chat for his Zonely fans feature, seeing as the what do we even call it? What happened at the end of the show yesterday? It was absolute pandemonium because people wanted to see Lucas's butt.
Apparently, YouTube won't let me put my Venmo in there.
Well, that's because they have their own tip system, so I assume that they block those things so that you have to tip via YouTube as opposed to, publicizing your own Venmo. Now, maybe if you do it from the Zone's account, right, because we're live streaming on the Zone's account, then maybe we could generate some funds that way.
At Lucas Pansica.
I'm pretty sure there are rules against that very subject. 615-737-1045 is the number if you would like to participate. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch are there with you. Seriously, how did they come to, have they been talking about the Titans Mondays as being a colonoscopy? Because the three of them are of the age that they would have to start getting colonoscopies, respectfully.
Well, What a shot.
I mean, that's not a shot. They're
That's
just older
tough.
than we are.
That's tough.
I'm the oldest one, and I'm 32. So I'm first, in line. When do people start to get colonoscopies? In their 40s? All right, very good.
I'm looking it up.
I mean, for a Jets fan, watching that Dolphins game on Monday Night Football probably felt like one big colonoscopy. Same goes for Bengals fans, watching Jake Browning and the Bengals offense struggle and fail to score more than 3 points against the Denver Broncos at Mile High Stadium.
Somewhere Mickey Ryan is smiling.
Love you, Mickey.
I miss Mickey. I did not even flip over to the Broncos-Bengals game. I stuck it out because at least the Jets were pushing at the end to make that a more competitive game. Robert, were you telling me last night that Tua's never lost to the New York Jets?
I believe that is correct. I didn't fact check that on the back end, but my buddy who is a Dolphins fan said that he has never lost to the Jets.
I know it's consecutive. Like they have 10 consecutive wins, the Dolphins do over the Jets, which is awful because the Dolphins are no world beaters. In fact, even when they looked like they were at the peak of their competitiveness, which they certainly are not right now, they have felt like paper tigers, and still the Jets, who dropped to 0-4, are unable to beat the terrible Dolphins.
Yeah, he is 7-0 against the Jets.
That's crazy.
Darren Waller out here having multi-touchdown games.
Was that his debut?
Yes, that was his debut.
And
He
two
was out
touchdowns.
that was plus 10,000, by the way, if you bet Darren Waller to have 2 touchdowns.
We all assumed that was just going to be a nothing when they brought Darren Waller out of retirement to sign with the Dolphins and traded away Jonnu Smith, which looked like a dumb move at the time, and I don't necessarily think it was a good move. But Darren Waller's still good enough to beat the Jets at this point in his career.
I mean, we've buried the lead with this game.
Well, it's because we started talking about colonoscopies in your butt again. Yes, the lead is Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill dislocated his knee. He also tore his ACL. Those injuries are always horrifying when you witness them live. And that was indeed the case last night, hospitalized overnight. Apparently, he's going to continue to undergo further testing on the season-ending injury. According to Mike McDaniel, last night, Drew Rosenhaus, his agent, said he accompanied Hill to the hospital and that he was going to undergo last night an MRI and a CT scan to determine the extent of the damage. Quote, are there any torn ligaments? Is there torn cartilage? Are there any broken bones? To check on the blood flow, any, God forbid, nerve damage, which is always a possibility with injuries like that. You remember when Delaney dislocated his ankle in Miami and then resulted in nerve damage that Delaney really never recovered from that. I know he did recover and he did participate in football games after the fact, but he was never the same after that ankle injury. And Tyreek Hill already at an advanced stage for a wide receiver and past the peak of his powers. It's unfortunate because, I don't root for Tyreek Hill, the person, for obvious reasons, but as a player, he is an asset for a team like the Dolphins as the trade deadline looms. And obviously that will not come to fruition at this point.
Have you ever seen someone with a happier look on their face while being carted off the field for what assuredly in the moment you knew was a season-ending injury?
Maybe he's just happy to be done with the Dolphins. I don't know. He's been trying to get out of Miami. I'm recklessly speculating there. But I don't know. In the moment, I'm sure the adrenaline kind of masks some of the pain. I don't know that for a fact, obviously. That's...
Well, as the resident athlete on the show, I can tell you that
as the resident person who injures their ankles with great frequency, not famously not an athlete.
Potato, tomato. The adrenaline for me has at no point outweighed the pain.
Yes, the adrenaline of rec league soccer was not enough. Going down in a blaze of glory with a grade 3 ankle sprain?
Yes, it hurt. For weeks.
I don't know. I mean, Jets are 0-4 now. Dolphins get their first win of the season. Just stinky football last night. Are we done with the doubleheaders now? Can we move on from this? Also, side note, and I wonder what you make of this as the future Chris Fowlers of the world. Why is Chris Fowler getting so much heat? I saw people from like front office sports talking about ESPN has like 20 better play-by-play people than Chris Fowler, and I was offended by it.
I mean, truthfully, I spent most of my viewing attention was on the Bengals-Broncos game, even though Dolphins-Jets was a closer game. Yeah, it was honestly background noise. I wasn't necessarily locked into Monday Night Football last night. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, his last outing was the horse throat game where it didn't even sound like it was him in that Raiders game. And Robert talked about the 3-man booth. I think I lean with Robert on that it's a lot of cooks. Like, it's just not terribly necessary. But yeah, I don't know. I did not see that sort of reaction about Chris Fowler. What did the Dolphins do, by the way, to deserve, because this was the situation for them last year too, week 4, Titans at Dolphins, Monday Night Football, and it was the quote unquote lesser matchup. I think it was Lions Seahawks was the other one going on at the same time, which was a good game. Broncos-Bengals preseason had the makings of a great game between AFC contenders. Not necessarily the case with Joe Burrow being out, but, man, Dolphins just getting the short end of the stick. Like, congrats, you get your primetime games, but nobody's watching.
Well, there was nobody there either. I mean, you saw the crowd shot. Well, maybe you didn't see the crowd shots, but the crowd shots look like Nissan Stadium. Like, there wasn't anybody at Hard Rock last night. And again, 0-3 versus 0-3, we understand that things are going to get bleak, and God knows, anybody from a position talking about the Titans can't talk smack about empty stadiums, because I have no idea what that's going to look like in Week 7.
Man, the Jets, just the way they shoot themselves in the foot. They had 400 yards of offense. Justin Fields was not bad. Like 111 quarterback rating, 81 rush yards. He was 20 of 27.
Penalties.
In the air, penalties. 13 for 101. For the Jets, they had 3 turnovers. Dolphins had none.
Yeah, it's just, and that's really what comes down to how you lose a game, which, not to bring things back to, twist the knife on the local situation, but it makes the way that the Titans lost even more egregious, because that's how you should lose a game. If you have, you said 13 penalties for how many?
101.
101. Yeah, you should lose a game if you are penalized that often. And I know there were some questionable officiating calls last night. Aaron Glenn looked beside himself. Particularly, who was the receiver that the defensive lineman landed on him well after he had gone to the ground, that was just missed by the officiating crew. I think it was the second time it happened in the game. It was a late game situation. I can't recall whether it was a running back, a wide receiver, or somebody got landed on by a defensive lineman well after the whistle was blown, and the officials just missed it, even though it was right in front of them. That is the surest way to lose football games. If you are that undisciplined, if you are that overtly penalized, then you are going to cost yourselves opportunities. The Jets fall to 0-4 as a result. Now, what's going to be interesting is so I just watched the condensed version of Bills Saints, and that score makes it look a little more like a dominant Bills performance than it actually was. The Saints pushed them.
Oh, they hung in.
So, and this is, again, to bring things back to the local situation, the Giants have looked competent. It wasn't a pretty win for them over the weekend, but Jackson Dart and Cam Scatteraboo out there getting it done. In Jackson Dart's first start, they find a way to win. The Saints have looked more competitive, even though they are winless on the season. Even the Browns have a win over the Packers, and I know people are questioning things about the Packers right now, coming off of that 40-40 tie against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football, but these other bottom dwellers are at least showing fight, and the Titans just kind of lay down like dogs.
The Jets have, been competitive, right? Like, by definition.
Yeah.
Last week.
Pushed the Steelers in week 1.
Pushed the Steelers. That was a classic of a game. And then even last week, Jets-Bucks was insane. The Will McDonald blocked field goal return for a touchdown, and Baker just pulls out yet another game-winning drive at the death. So Jets are 0-4, but they have had some close calls this season. Like, they got blown out by the Bills in week 2. Otherwise, they've been in every game. They've lost 1-score games in all of these other 3 losses. But, yeah, it is Jets, Titans, Saints as part of the winless crew.
I'm fascinated by this Patriots-Bills game in Buffalo coming up. I don't know whether they're actually going to give Buffalo a game at home, and that's a tough place to play in prime time. And listen, to put 42 on the Carolina Panthers is no great accomplishment. The Carolina Panthers defense is horrendous. But the Carolina Panthers also just shut out the Falcons here not that long ago, 30-0. So the Patriots are 2-2 now. The Bills 4-0, obviously. How many teams are left undefeated? Eagles, Bills, is that the list?
That's the list.
Yeah, so just 2 undefeateds left in the NFL. I'm fascinated to see. I'm looking for good football games to watch anywhere at this point because God knows my Sundays are not enjoyable at this point in time. But that Patriots-Bills game in Week 5 is curious to me.
Also, the Falcons, after getting blanked by the Panthers, bounced back and had an impressive win over the Commanders, who, again, were without Jaden Daniels, but we know Marcus to be a quality backup in the NFL, but Bijan Robinson just took over. So that win by the Patriots, a bit of an early season statement by that group to rout the Panthers, who were coming off a statement win of their own the week before.
So we are going to be joined by Jason Fitz at 11:20 today. We'll look forward to that. Robert, do we have things to give away at 10:45 for the thing in sports that made you say, oh, no?
We do. We have some great tickets today to go see Tyler Childers at Geodis on October 10th.
I want to go to that show so bad.
Why aren't you?
I will be doing CPA versus Ensworth on my TV 30, which I am looking forward to. That's going to be a great game loaded with talent. It's unfortunate that it falls on a Friday night, that the concert falls on a high school football Friday.
Robert, you want to go?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's go. Sorry, Lucas.
I can FaceTime you.
Checking on you at a high school football game from a time. Geodis doesn't do many concerts, do they?
No, not often.
That
They've had a few.
Shania Twain one
Shania
was
Twain.
not well received.
Oh, yeah, and I'm going to tear that field
really?
up, boy. I'm going to be on that field. Looking like Hani Mukhtar out there.
Doing some step overs in the crowd.
You see me doing a bicycle kick. Like, oh, who is
Should
that?
we ask if they'll let us in early? I would love to have you on camera trying to, get shots on net.
Oh, come on. I can juggle a soccer ball. I can
There's
do.
no way.
What are some other skills associated with soccer? I can
The fact
run.
that you don't even know what the skills associated with soccer make me question your ability.
I can do a header.
That's pretty, yeah. You're kind of covering the bases.
Don't touch the ball with your hands. I know that is a no-no.
That's a pretty big one.
Big no-no.
Jody is in Spring Hill. What's up, Jody?
Hey, good morning, guys. Lucas, I need to correct you on something. You said that watching a Jets game is probably like having a colonoscopy. It's far from it. I've recently had one. It's the best 20-minute nap of my life. So, no, watching a Jets game is nothing like a colonoscopy. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
Thank you for the call, Jody.
That sounds like it's far worse. Wow.
All right, so Robert seems to think that the colonoscopy experience would be pleasant.
No,
Jody?
no. The enema experience. I would love an enema.
Why don't you just get a bidet?
That's not even close to the same. That one of them cleans your butt.
I see. I don't know anything about either
and the
of these
enema
things.
cleans your insides. I want an enema. I need my insides. What's it called when you have the guys come out and do your driveway? I need my insides pressure washed.
Can you imagine what his insides look like?
You get to watch it. You get to watch it come out. I've seen videos.
This man was ripping heaters the other day, coughing up blood, refusing to go to the hospital.
It was a little. It was a flesh wound.
I have headlines.
They're next.
It's time.
Wait. No.
NFL headlines?
Turn it down. We need something with a little more juice. Robert, let's play track 2 instead.
Ooh.
The headline of the NFL weekend. The rumors are true. Bad Bunny will be the halftime performer at the Super Bowl in February, Santa Clara, California. I cannot wait for this show. He is the biggest touring artist on the planet right now, and I say that because Taylor Swift is not touring, although I think he could give her a run for her money.
For sure. Internationally, for sure.
Internationally, when it comes to all the buzz and what he attracts and all of that. So I am so hype about Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl. I think he's going to put on a killer show.
So I did not see this announced live because it happened on Sunday Night Football, right?
Yep, at halftime.
And so I was in the air and then landed and discovered, because you had sent many DMs to the group text being like, they better not be gaslighting me.
Yeah, because there were posts about, rumors that Bad Bunny's going to be the halftime performer. I was like,
happy.
Please let it be true.
So I love this, but I guess I was surprised to see that many people were pushing back against this, but I suppose I shouldn't, because we had a Two America situation during Kendrick Lamar, where I don't know if it's just a generational thing. I don't know if the old whites are just upset about the idea that somebody who's not, I don't know, who we're going to dust off next, John Bon Jovi or something like that, to go play the NFL halftime show or the Super Bowl halftime show. I mean, yeah, Bon Jovi, fine. But
That'd be awesome.
Just God forbid we have something other than old rock stars to trot out there with, their arthritis and everything else, their wrist braces that they need to play guitars.
I do not align with you on that. I loved that run of the Rolling Stones and the Who. I mean, during that run was the Prince halftime show, which I still believe is the greatest halftime show in Super Bowl history, bar none.
Oh, no,
Tom Petty was a part of that,
the
too.
Bruce Springsteen halftime. Listen,
that was a great run of halftime
But
shows.
it's okay to have other things, is my point. It's okay. I saw many people tweeting something to the effect of, well, can you name a Bad Bunny song? And I personally could not.
You can't?
Not off the top of my head, but I don't care. I love his music. It's a vibe every time it comes on. If it's good enough for John Hamm to vibe out at concerts for, it's good enough for me. I don't care.
What's the Playa song?
Después de la playa.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that. I just type in Bad Bunny Playa.
Are we in a situation where a portion of the American football consuming population is just pissed because they can't pronounce the names of the songs that are going to be played?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be that reaction because not the majority of his songs, all of his songs are in Spanish. I'm a huge Bad Bunny fan. My fiance was on this way before me. She's been loving Bad Bunny for years, and I was honestly late to the party. I really just hopped on the train after his latest album that has prompted this insane international tour that he's on. But, Robert, we were talking about it off the air the other day, too. Why should anybody be surprised by this as the NFL tries to lean in more than ever on the international side of things?
Yeah, because this halftime show is not for football fans. This isn't for people to, I can't wait for when the game's going on to not go get chips and dip, but to instead stay and watch Taylor Swift. It's for everyone else in the world because it's a global product now. Same thing with Hips Don't Lie lady. What's her name?
Shakira.
When they had Shakira. It's like, who in their right mind? I wouldn't pay to go see a Shakira concert, but it's also not for me.
Oh,
I would pay a lot of money.
You wouldn't pay to see a Shakira concert.
Okay, Hips Don't Lie and Waka Waka Africa. What are the other songs other than those two?
She-Wolf. It's a good song.
I don't care.
She-Wolf. There you go.
I'm literally there for Shakira. I don't care about the music at that point.
She is the red panda of artists. But again, it is not for
Robert.
me.
I will not.
She has 3 songs,
This is
guys.
the rare time.
She does not have 3 songs. Do not disparage her like this.
You can get Lucas and I aligned against you in a situation because you are just dead wrong about Red Panda. You are dead wrong about Shakira.
We're going to listen to nothing but Shakira before the show for the rest of the week.
No, we're not. We are not doing that.
So I guess what's the biggest issue with, what is the pushback on Bad Bunny? Because he is the biggest international touring act, and the NFL is trying to make themselves international.
Well, because no one here knows him. Not no one. I wouldn't say that knows him. But I mean, like, what do you mean what? You don't know one of his songs. That's what the issue is.
Yeah, you literally just said you can't name a single song.
But I know who Bad Bunny is.
Sure, but even if they know who he is, they don't know his song. Similar with Tyler Childers. Like, okay.
I couldn't name a Tyler Childers song.
Right. But,
Brother, I couldn't name I could name a Bon Jovi song, Living on a Prayer.
Sure. But that is the issue. The issue is people.
That's Bon Jovi, right? I was not confident
just shut
about
up. Keep going, bro.
People want to see something they're familiar with. It's not familiar. It's new. It's scary. Just give it a shot. You know what I mean? You don't have to know everything. You don't have to like everything. Who is this guy? Who is this actor? I don't know. Just watch the movie.
Yeah, Bustin' Diamond on the F&M Bank chat points out he is the most listened to artist on the planet right now. The NFL is going to Dublin. It's going to Australia. It's going to Brazil. So, yes, they're going to lean into that. I personally am very excited. Look, and if you don't know anything about Bad Bunny and you haven't seen Happy Gilmore 2, watch Happy Gilmore 2. He steals the show as Happy's caddy.
Isn't he? He's SNL this weekend, too, right?
Yes, SNL loves Bad Bunny.
Sure.
He's very funny. Comedic timing. Very good. Very talented guy.
I watched him on SNL 50. He was his first performance where he was hosting. There was room for improvement. The SNL 50 thing, I thought he did well. With who else was he out there with? Sabrina Carpenter and I'm blanking on the guy who's in Narcos, and now they put him in every movie.
Pedro Pascal.
Pascal.
Bad Bunny's starting to pop up in movies as like this blockbuster film actor. But
I mean, he had a professional wrestling match. In Puerto Rico at WWE's event there.
You put him next to Jelly, right? As
far as like this generation's celebrity wrestlers, it's Jelly, it's Logan Paul, it's Bad Bunny.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a great show.
Oh, is he got because I'm seeing now division in the F&M Bank chat. Does he have political beliefs that are polarizing here?
Very quickly, he didn't want to tour in the U.S. because of ICE, things going on with ICE. That was what the issue was initially.
This is smart.
This is his only...
Given his audience?
This is his only show that's happening in the United States during this tour.
If you're
other than his residency in Puerto Rico.
Well, yeah, he's Puerto Rican.
So he's wise to not get his audience arrested in an ICE raid. I feel that sounds smart to me. Not something that would be frowned upon. I mean, I don't know. We don't have to get into all that, but that's just nonsense.
Let's talk about football. So, 2 undefeated teams left in the NFL. The Eagles are 4-0. Over the last 30 seasons, 3 quarterbacks have won 18 straight games that they started and finished. They are Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Jalen Hurts, who was 15 of 24, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns, a rating of 104.5. and 9 carries for 62 rush yards. He led the team in rushing in a 31-25 win over Tampa, which Tampa, to their credit, pushed. They almost came back, which they've done all season long, but the Eagles jumped on them early, never relinquished the lead, and Philadelphia is just rolling right now.
Yeah, AJ's posting cryptic stuff on Instagram and Twitter again, so I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, we were joking maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, about when is the A.J. Brown social media stuff going to start if he's not getting enough targets. At this point, it seems like we've reached that point. But if you're winning, who cares? Like, you're one of the 2 undefeated teams in the NFL. You're the defending Super Bowl champions. You shouldn't be as good as you've been. And they survived the Bucs, right? Like, they what was the lead at one point? 24-6? They about blew it against Tampa Bay, who's frisky enough, even though they're dealing with plenty of injuries at this point early in the season, too. Philadelphia should not be discounted. I discounted them. I thought that they should take a step back this year, and they're in a stinky division and handling business that way. The NFC seems pretty wide open at this point in time. Robert, at some point, are we going to talk about the fact that all 3 of us picked the Baltimore Ravens to go to the Super Bowl and they're 1-3?
Yeah, it's your fault.
My fault?
Well, that was going to be...
Why not your fault? You picked them, too.
Yeah. I've been picking them since 2009.
Well, you're trying to manifest it.
Sure, but it's not my fault. In fact, I'm starting to think it's not any of our fault. It's my fault for proposing to Cheyenne because they have only won 1 game since I have done that. So I'm really close. I'm really close to calling this whole thing off and going back to the streets where I belong.
Outta here.
Back to the alleyways and the gutters that I belong in. Like a street cat out there singing my song. So keep messing around, John Harbaugh. Keep messing around, Lamar, and you're going to have one really sad lady at a hotel downtown today.
Don't even joke.
I'll call her right now on the show.
Joke.
I will call her right now and renounce my love for her.
Nnamdi Madubuike is out for the season with a neck injury.
Madubuike.
No update on quarterback Lamar Jackson, who left the loss against the Chiefs on Sunday. What was the designation on Lamar? Hamstring injury. So,
but you're mostly frustrated about that, by the way, Robert, because it's been super murky on the extent of the hamstring injury. Like, the Titans probably disclose too much about injuries now, and they've gone the inverse of Mike Vrabel or the reverse of Mike Vrabel. But Baltimore famously does not provide any information whatsoever.
No, they're just very cloudy all the time, no matter what. So there are two schools of thought about that Lamar injury. One, the deficit was too large, and the left tackle was out. He was getting hit repetitively. So they were like, okay, let's pull him and take away the option of there being further damage done. And then there's a school of thought that he is actually hurt, and he could actually not go back into the game, which is the narrative that John Harbaugh is pushing at the press conference yesterday. He said there would be no instance that Lamar would be able to re-enter the game. But if you'll remember back to Lamar's injury 3 years ago that happened in midseason, they were in great form, and Lamar did not come back. They did not make the playoffs. They were cloudy that entire time, too. Oh, don't know when Lamar's coming back. So that's the scary part for the Ravens is he really hurt? How bad is he hurt? They will never let anyone know because of competitive advantages. They want teams to have to plan for Lamar, whether he is going to play or not. So they're going to be cagey about everything. So if you're a fantasy owner of Lamar.
Are you?
Who are you talking to?
Well, I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know. I mean, listen, you are in all manner of different, like, advanced fantasy football leagues that I can't even grasp. I didn't log into my fantasy app until, like, week 2.
So I would say start him. I would say he's going to be fine because if he's not, it's all in the trash heap anyway.
Jackson Dart was fine on Sunday.
Just quickly, before we do that, is there no reason to feel better about the Ravens because their schedule? Their schedule moving forward is not what the Chiefs is.
Yeah, they've had an insane gauntlet to start the season.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, but I mean moving forward.
No, it stays the same.
Texans, home Rams.
Okay, Rams are probably the second or third best NFC team. But again, you're talking. Let's talk about matchups. Okay, before you even go forward, let's talk about matchups. If their left tackle is out,
yes,
and they are facing probably two of the top 5 best pass rush teams in the next 2 weeks.
Yes, they are.
Against the Texans and the Rams.
Yes.
That is concerning.
Okay.
They have an early bye after that. So even if someone is hurt, you have an early bye, which means you get no breaks the rest of the season. They play the NFC North this season, which means Rams, Lions. They've already played the Lions, Vikings, Packers. That's no slouch. They haven't played the Steelers yet. They've already played the Browns once. They get a hurt Bengals team. So the only upside to this is that they get to play the Miami Dolphins on Thursday Night Football, a crappy Browns team.
Play the rest of the AFC East.
And 2 Bengals broken teams. That is the only upside.
And the Jets.
Everyone else is either a playoff team or thought of as a playoff team. They're either going to have to figure it out or get off the pot.
I'm sorry for trying to comfort you.
Don't comfort me.
Yeah, see, I knew that's where that was going, so I was trying to keep it moving here. Jackson Dart, starting debut against the Chargers for the Giants, and he was excellent. I mean, he's a dual threat.
Well, excellent.
I don't care. They won the game.
It was a gritty game. He was tough. And he was competitive. Excellent as a stretch.
He did what he needed to do to win the football game against the undefeated Chargers. He was excellent. 13 of 20, 111 yards, a touchdown, a rating of 96, 54 rush yards, and a touchdown. Cam Scadaboo led the Giants in rushing.
Now, wait, did you watch this game?
With 79 yards. The headline, unfortunately, from this game is Malik Neighbors, who is out for the season with an ACL injury.
Yes, but did you watch this game?
No.
Okay, so the pass rush just teed off on the Chargers. The Giants' pass rush teed off on the Chargers because Joe Alt also got carted off in this game.
Yes, he did.
So that's
with an ankle sprain.
So Jackson, you are correct. Jackson Dart did enough to win a football game. That pass rush is the reason that they were in. Oh, sure.
I mean, Dexter Lawrence had an interception that he was that close to running back for a touchdown. And it set up a short field for the Giants, and they capitalized and cashed in to take a 21-10 lead. But, they did enough to win against the Chargers team that had been crowned by a lot of people, me included. That was part of my Wet Powder Wednesday a couple weeks ago. I am taking all of that back. Justin Herbert now is without both of his starting tackles. Yeah. One for the season in Rashawn Slater, one for an extended period with a high ankle sprain in Joe Alt at left tackle. That is concerning for a Chargers team that, by the way, lost Najee Harris for the season with an Achilles. Omarion Hampton and Hassan Haskins pretty much make up their running back room at the moment. So it is a good development for the Chargers that Quentin Johnston can catch the football, which was a struggle for him early in his career. Keenan Allen is still Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey. Obviously, the Chargers are going to challenge throughout the course of the year. Justin Herbert is still playing well. He did throw 2 picks in this game. The pass rush had a lot to do with that, to your point. But an impressive debut for Jackson Dart, who is giving Giants fans hope. It just sucks that Malik Neighbors is out for the season. Like, it really stinks for a young Giants team that was starting to get some parts and pieces going.
And just quickly, Robert, before you make your point, OBJ took to social media to talk about the MetLife turf because this is famously a thing that has claimed Aaron Rodgers' Achilles and now Malik Neighbors' ACL and Joe Alt's. What is the nature of Joe Alt's injury?
High ankle sprain.
High ankle sprain. So, I mean, the MetLife turf has been talked about for a long, long time as being different. It's not like the synthetic, the organic turf that the Titans have. Odell Beckham Jr. was out there on social media talking about it, rallying the troops to change the turf at MetLife Stadium, which is not going to happen.
Is Jackson Dart the most impressive rookie quarterback through
Yes.
4 weeks? With only one start?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, he obviously has the most impressive win of any rookie quarterback, and that's because Tyler Shuck's not playing and the Titans are 0-4. So, apart from Shedeur Sanders, obviously, is not playing football.
He has moved to third position as far as odds are concerned for Rookie of the Year. Emeka Ibuka is first, Tyler Warren is second, and Jackson Dart is at plus 750.
Where's Dan?
I only have the top 3, but I can find that for you.
Somebody check in on Ryan Clark. Does Ashton Genty have it? Because he was awesome this past weekend.
Despite
they lost.
getting betrayed by his center. Did you see this? This just dead body situation in the backfield. He had a great game anyway, but like center just completely whiffs on a block on a nose tackle and lets the guy eat Ashton Genty alive.
Genty went for 138, led them in rushing. He also had 2 receiving touchdowns, 3 total touchdowns, including a 64-yard touchdown run. He averaged 6.6 yards per carry. But the Raiders are 1-3 after losing to the Bears 25-24. Quickly, potentially the game of the year on Sunday night. So the reunion that everybody was anticipating, everybody was talking about all week with Green Bay and Dallas going head-to-head at AT&T Stadium. Yes, Kenny Clark facing his former team, the Green Bay Packers. And the Cowboys did not necessarily stop the run.
No.
They didn't do it.
And Micah wasn't really effective until late
He wasn't
in the
that
game.
effective. He got a sack at the end. Did you see this at the end?
Yeah.
So he gets that sack, I believe, in overtime. He got his first sack of the game, and Dak dropped back and started to scramble. So it was right on that line because Micah got him with a trailing tackle, but Dak just hadn't quite crossed the line of scrimmage. So even though he was trying to become a runner, it technically went down as a sack. Dak didn't know until the post-game interview, and he was like, "Oh, what? Oh, no, they called that a sack? Oh, I got to go talk to Micah." It was really cool, honestly, seeing Micah Parsons with all the Cowboys players. He's like dapping up the chain gang at Jerry World.
He's
it
beloved.
It was really cool to see that, and for that to end in a tie, I'm sorry. I know it pisses people off, but I was sitting there just gleefully.
No, you're disgusting.
Cackling that game, that classic, Micah Parsons back in Dallas, everything around it ended 40-40, and it was the most appropriate possible ending to that game.
And people thought I was the biggest chaos agent on the show.
Before we get out of here,
We have to, because we have to do Oh No. What do you have?
did you guys see Tony Romo this weekend calling the Ravens game?
Oh, what is this fake tan?
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
You got spray tan?
He looks like who's the? I can't think of that. Is it Kevin Nealon in what's the Adam Sandler movie with? They're all like parents of children. They all grew up together.
Grown-ups.
Oh,
Grown-ups.
I'm
Grown-ups 2.
shocked you know who Kevin Nealon is. Blindsided.
It's an upset. Anyway.
He looked terrible.
He looked awful.
Don't call any one of my games ever again, Tony.
All right, so we have Tyler Childers tickets to give away for his upcoming concert at Geodis Park. The thing that you need to do to win those tickets is call us 615-737-1045 and tell us what in sports made you say, "Oh no." Erectile dysfunction can wreck your confidence. It can impact your relationship, your mental health, and even your sense of identity. The good news is the Tennessee Men's Clinic is here to help you, like they've helped thousands of guys get back to feeling like themselves. Whether you're dealing with mild or moderate ED, performance issues, or even conditions like Peyronie's disease, their medical team will work with you to create a plan that gets results, often with options most men didn't even know were out there. And forget waiting around. They have in-house labs, so you get your blood work results in minutes, not days. If you've felt the sting of performance issues lately, the Tennessee Men's Clinic is here to help. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes a full medical consultation, blood work, and if medically advised, a test dose right there in the office. Call today at 615-208-9090. That's 615-208-9090 or book easily online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. For the opportunity to win tickets to Tyler Childers' upcoming concert at Geodis Park, 615-737-1045, and a $100 gift card to a Moment's Peace Salon and Day Spa. That's a hell of a prize. If you give us the thing in sports that made you say, oh, no. I'm going to circle back to this at the top of the noon hour, but this tweet from Blake Edwards, at Blake Matt with one T, Edwards, on Twitter made me say, oh no, through their first 4 NFL starts. Will Levis, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 857 yards, a completion percentage of 61.78, a 1-3 record. Cam Ward, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 614 yards, a completion percentage of 51.2%, 0-4. That Cam Ward is having a worse start to his first year as a starter on what is supposed to be a better Titans roster than Will Levis was on a worse Titans roster made me say, oh no, that's terrible. And it's not to say that Cam Ward is worse than Will Levis, because we obviously know that that's not the case, and it's not to, give Will more shine than he deserves, but it's also to stick up for Will Levis a little bit, to be like, hey, he wasn't as big of a problem for them as they have created unto themselves. My oh no is just quarterbacks who play for the Tennessee Titans because they're both in hell playing for a bad franchise.
What made me say oh no over the weekend was the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who went to Arkansas and just put an absolute beatdown on the Razorbacks. Sam Pittman ends up without a job after the fact, and Arkansas losing 56-13 in this game. Just pure domination from start to finish. Notre Dame jumped on them early, 14-3 lead after the first quarter. Never let go. Put up 641 total yards of offense, 210 rush yards, and on and on and on. But what made me say, oh no, is Notre Dame up 42-13 at this point, near the end of the third quarter, running a fake punt on the Arkansas Razorbacks. Just insane behavior.
Diabolical.
Here from Marcus Freeman. Diabolical is right.
Why does he hate Sam Pittman? Everybody loves Sam Pittman.
This made no sense to me. And it's like, hey, man, both teams are on the field. You're competing. I've never had a problem with running it up and throwing when you're up by multiple scores in the second half. But faking a punt up 42-13, for me, makes me say, oh, no, obviously for the circumstances. But also, really? That's where you're going to use that play? That's how you're going to line up on special teams and go ahead and put that out there on tape when you're up 42-13? Not in the third quarter against, I don't know, Stanford's giving you a game down the road and you need to pull out a wild card? I don't know. That didn't make any sense to me.
It was funny, but it was disrespectful as all hell. Go ahead, Robert.
My oh no is the media surrounding Jerry Jones is an issue. Because now I know that they are corroborators. They are allowing him to think that he is what he thinks he is. And that was evident in this cell phone video post-game when Jerry was asked, hey, Jerry, was that tie like kissing your sister? And the audio's terrible because it's off a cell phone, but I'll be back after this.
Well, I've never kissed my sister, so how's it taste? I wouldn't go
Yeah, good one, Jerry.
What did he say?
I about killed myself on that. He said, is this tie like kissing your sister? He said, I don't know. I never kissed my sister. How's it taste? And you can just hear the collective media around Jerry. Oh, let me turn it back up. That might help. It wasn't that funny, buddy. It wasn't that funny.
Yeah.
That guy laughing did kiss his sister.
Just yucking him up.
It's everyone else's fault in Dallas that Jerry is the way he is. You allowed him to be this way by laughing at his terrible jokes. That is my oh no.
615-737-1045. Let's go rapid fire for the opportunity for y'all to win these Tyler Childers tickets. Remember to stay on hold after the fact for Robert to get back in touch with you. Jessica is up first.
Hey, but my oh no, I have 3 oh no's.
Oh, yeah, I got to pick one, Jessica. Pick one.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with the Tyreek Hill injury. Gruesome, made me want to vomit. Ugh, gross.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I appreciate the call. Yeah, y'all can't come in here with 3 submissions respectfully, but I do appreciate the effort. Karen is in Alabama.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Buck. Hi, this is Karen from Madison, Alabama.
Hello. What do you got for us?
Well, I'm going to say I'm a lifelong Titans fan and a lifelong Seminole fan. And if it wasn't bad enough, my Seminoles sucked, I was holding on to the Titans doing better. So my oh no is, you know what? We got to do better. We suck ass, and we know we can do better. Tighten up.
I love that, Karen. Well done.
Hey,
the delivery alone.
Big game this weekend, hosting Miami.
That is a big game. Her fandom, just generally, is her oh no, I feel bad for her. Justin in Lebanon.
Guys, my oh no is A.D. Mitchell. I mean, for tossing that ball out of the back of the end zone and then getting that penalty on the JT run. Ugh. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for the call. Did you see that he also negated it was like a 53-yard Jonathan Taylor touchdown with a penalty?
Yeah, it was a rough game, man. He went from having one of the plays of the year in the NFL with that touchdown catch that ended up being a fumble out the back of the end zone to essentially a turnover. Man, rough outing for A.D. Mitchell.
Josh is next in Clarksville.
Fuck. Man, my old no is for all the fantasy owners out there. Joe Burrow and that Bengals team should have been a playoff team, and now they got Jay Browning.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the well-compensated Bengals offense that it's kind of fallen to pieces. 3 points.
If things spin out of control for Zach Taylor, like, will there be a discussion about his job this year?
You want him to get fired so bad.
I don't want him to get fired.
Lucas has asked me this question 4 times.
That's not true.
You want him to get fired
Why is this your new Brandon Staley?
Why would I want Zach Taylor to lose his job?
Why would I want the guy who was actually the good Bengals coach to get fired? Why would I want that?
I'm just posing the question.
I mean, yeah, they've wanted him fired, it feels like, every year. I feel like there's always dialogue around
You can't fire a dude
Taylor.
over an injury like this. What were they supposed to do when their quarterback goes down?
Oh, no, I agree with you, but hasn't there been frustration from Bengals fans around Zach Taylor every year?
No, at the beginning they were mad. They have no leg to stand on to be mad any of the other years.
I mean, they made the Super Bowl. I know they didn't win.
Their issues are with the general manager and the way the team is playing.
Yeah.
All right, let's get a few more here. Derek is in Murfreesboro.
Hey, guys. I am calling about Chapel Fowler on Twitter put out about Clemson coach Dabo Swinney said, if you take the turnovers away, we're probably 3-1. Don't change anything else. Just take away that part. That's so Butch Jones.
Oh, Dabo, no.
Yeah, if you take away all my fat, I'm a supermodel.
You never go full Butch Jones. Never go full Butch Jones.
Dabo's spinning, man.
Yeah, it's tough. Is it Henry in Antioch? Is that the last one for today, Robert?
No, that's Henry J00. I suppose it's supposed to be Henry, but
a stroke? What happened?
Mistypo.
Okay, what's up, Henry?
Sorry, y'all. My oh no is the refs in the UT Mississippi State game.
Oh.
That offensive pass interference call was brutal to watch.
Yeah, that was
and
tough.
that phantom call on Colton Hood was rough as well.
A lot of good submissions, a lot of bad moments this weekend to submit for oh no. All right, so we have, just to refresh, the Tyreek Hill injury, the fact that the Titans suck ass. A.D. Mitchell is also on this list. Joe Burrow's injury causing the Bengals season to be derailed. I'm sorry, what was Derek's in Murfreesboro?
Dabo.
And
Who plays Bill Belichick this week, by the way.
Oh, that's great. And then the refs in the UT game. Who are we picking?
And that pass interference call was pretty rough.
Well, don't put your homerism aside. That doesn't hold a candle to the
I'm
A.D.
leaning
Mitchell
Henry,
thing.
and there is no favoritism involved.
Okay.
I like Karen talking about sucking ass.
I agree. I vote Karen because her fandom is down tremendous, and she needs something.
Oh, Florida State's not that bad.
So we will say, they didn't suck against Virginia. They just lost.
And she lives in Alabama, too, so you know she was sticking it to people after week
week one, for sure.
Look at them, Florida Seminoles.
All right. Well, congratulations to Karen. She's going to go to this Tyler Childers concert on, when is the concert?
October 10th.
October 10th at Geodis Park here in Nashville. Well done by Karen. I'm sorry for your fandom. Coming up next, the Vols, strengths and weaknesses through 5 games. They're heading into a bye. We'll talk about them next. Trajan Wealth is here to help you if you are lacking financial independence. You know how frustrating that can be. We all deal with it at some point in your respective phases of life, whether you're planning for retirement at some point, whether you're simply looking for wealth management strategies or tactical investments that can help set you up for success in the future. That's exactly what Trajan Wealth's team is there to help you with. If you're interested in wealth management that's designed to protect, maintain, and expand your financial portfolio, Trajan Wealth understands the importance of those tactical investments and tailored insights for growth in line with your risk tolerance. Trajan Wealth is here to help. So call them today at 615-270-5000. That's 615-270-5000. Visit them in Brentwood or Franklin and online at TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. This is a paid advertisement.
It is 11:02. Good morning from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Lucas Panzica. A Monday Night Football doubleheader finished out Week 4 as the Dolphins held off the Jets to pick up their first win, 27-21, but it came with the loss of wide receiver Tyreek Hill. He was carted off the field with a season-ending knee injury. And Bo Nix had over 300 passing yards and 3 total touchdowns as the Broncos shut down the Bengals 28-3 to get to 2-2. The Titans reportedly will open Tyjae Spears' window to return after he started the season on injured reserve with an ankle sprain. Brian Callahan spoke on it yesterday with Titans media.
There's potential, yeah. I think we're going to activate him, open up his window. You know, that's a 21-day window he has to get elevated back to the active roster. He's done really well in the course, especially last week. Some of the workouts and stuff looked really, really good. He'd be a nice addition to get back on the field for us. I'd be pleased to see him back.
For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
The Tennessee Vols are having a much better start to the season than I think many of us would have anticipated. Now they still have tough upcoming opponents to work their way through as they head into a bye this week, but surviving a friskier than expected Mississippi State team, at least in terms of preseason expectations, was a huge win for them on the road. I don't know that it exercises all of the Josh Heupel road demons that are typically talked about at this point in time, but as Lucas pointed out, I think at some point last week, his win percentage on the road is better than the average SEC coach, given that is the toughest conference to play. So we are now through 5 games, and we can reset the board a little bit when talking about the Tennessee Volunteers in terms of what we thought their strengths and weaknesses might be versus what we have now determined. 5 games is a reasonable enough sample size, especially now that they've started to wade their way through SEC opponents. How those expectations have changed based on what we thought we might be getting in the 2025 Tennessee Volunteers. Where would you like to start?
Well, obviously, nobody has reset expectations more than Joey Aguilar, who at this point is the SEC's leading passer and was a big reason why they won that game. You mentioned the road woes, the road slip-ups that have cost Tennessee in the last few years. When you look down the line, now the opportunity for those lie in Lexington against a lifeless Kentucky team that you imagine Tennessee will be favored by multiple scores in that game. They go to Alabama, no slip-up trap game environment there. Obviously, that is expected to be a heavyweight matchup on the 3rd Saturday in October. And Florida, on the road, second to last week of the regular season. Quickly, credit Mississippi State, who's a much improved football team from a year ago. I think we said it with Ben Jones yesterday. State fans probably feel pretty similar to how Tennessee fans felt after the Georgia game a couple weeks ago. Didn't win, came down to the wire, but came away thinking, okay, maybe a little more competitive than we thought we would be. Maybe that recalibrates expectations for the season for Mississippi State. That looks a lot closer to an 8-ish win football team than I think many would have predicted before the start of the season. Aguilar's reset expectations more than anybody. Offensively, one of the biggest concerns about this team was the wide receiver position in what was an unproven and thin room. And early in fall camp, the headlines popping up were Braylon Staley missing a practice here, Mike Matthews missing a practice there. Fast forward 5 games into the season, and that group has been excellent. They've been healthy, number one, but they've been so productive with those 3 players and Miles Kitselman at tight end. Chris Brazzell has headlined that. He's leading the SEC in receiving, and he tops the country in a lot of receiving categories and is starting to get into some conversations as it pertains to the wide receiver discussion for the upcoming NFL draft. Chris Brazzell is behind only Mekhi Lemon of USC in receiving yards across the country. He is tied with Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson for the most receiving touchdowns in the country with 7. Tyson, I don't know, would we say he's in the driver's seat as wide receiver 1 in the upcoming draft if the college football season ended today and the draft was in a month?
Does feel that way.
Right? So it's been interesting to see Brazzell pop up on Todd McShay's radar and just ex-NFL draft analyst with some of the highlight reel plays that he's making. He had some incredible catches in this game, and that's with a 60-yard touchdown being wiped off due to a questionable, at best, pass interference call on Brazzell. So the most pleasant surprise has easily been Joey Aguilar and this wide receiver group. But I think Tennessee fans have been griping about this defense all season. I've seen a lot of that reaction. And there's no question the defense hasn't been perfect. It's been banged up. You've been without your top two corners. You've been testing your D-line depth all season. And you're giving up 29 points per game. Second worst in the SEC. You've given up almost 400 rush yards in your last two SEC games. Like, that's all true. The defense, to me, is also one of the biggest reasons why they won this game. I mean, you give up 34 points against Mississippi State. State had one touchdown drive. One. Longer than 26 yards. 3 touchdowns off of turnovers, including a muffed punt when the defense came up with a quick 3-and-out, a sack of Blake Shapen on the opening possession of the game, and Braylon Staley muffs the punt, a silly penalty on Joshua Josephs, and just like that, State's inside the 10, they score a touchdown. So both teams shot themselves in the foot a few times, but I will take, overall, a step back on the defensive standard as it pertains to yards allowed per game, points per game, if it means that this Tennessee pass rush continues to do what it's doing. Because they're going to continue to get healthier on the defensive line. David Hobbs is set to come back. That should help shore up the run defense. Jackson Boy made his return last weekend in Starkville. It doesn't appear as though they'll get Ricky Gibson back at corner, but Jermod McCoy, by all reports, is targeting a comeback against Arkansas when they come out of this bye week coming up. This pass rush has sacked the opposing quarterback 20 times this season. That leads the SEC. Buck, how many quarterback sacks did Tennessee have all of last season? If you had to just put a number on it.
You said how many do they have?
All season.
No.
Right now they have 20.
I'll say 32.
29.
Okay.
So we're 5 games in, and they are on pace to almost double their total sack number from last season, which wasn't tops in the SEC. And James Pierce Jr. was really most of the juice they had in that regard. They lose him to the first round of the draft, and there's so much more of a well-rounded group when it comes to affecting the quarterback. Tyree West was a monster in this game, an absolute monster. Have y'all seen the shot? The camera shot, I think Volquest had it, from behind Blake Shapen on the scoop and score by Caleb Herring.
No.
Like the definition of blindside when Tyree West just clubs Blake Shapen from behind, and Josephs is there, not Josephs, Caleb Herring, local guy, Riverdale High School, is there to scoop it up and run it back. You've just got so many guys affecting the quarterback. Ross, Herring, Josephs, that defensive line is just taking its turns. And I think this defense, again, I guess what would you rather have, right? A defense that is sound just across the board, has a very high standard, but isn't necessarily elite at affecting the quarterback, or a defense that's going to have its lapses, but can make those types of game-breaking plays. Because as good as Tennessee's defense was last year, it wasn't that often that it was making those type of game-deciding plays that we saw multiple times in Starkville last Saturday. So I've heard all this complaining from Tennessee fans about the way the defense has played. I think the defense was a huge strength.
Well, I think you like the way they responded, right, in a situation like that. And that's the thing that the YouTube comments are pointing out. Tyler Dial on YouTube, where you can interact with the show, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, says, I was really proud of how the defense basically locked in the last couple of drives after not really being able to stop the run for the first 3.5 quarters. It matters what you do to finish the game. How do you finish? And I understand that you don't want to be giving up a ridiculous amount of rushing yards in those situations. Also, pleasantly surprised with the collective rushing attack of Tennessee. This year, I understand that Joey Aguilar is creating more opportunities. If you've got a quarterback that the defense has to respect, and we weren't sure what that exactly was going to look like for Aguilar coming into the season, they're not like they're in the top 40 as far as rushing offense. They're 39th with just shy of 200 rushing yards.
They're deep
per game. But yeah, I like the depth there, and that was a question obviously coming into the year. But to the commenter's point, if I am a Vols fan, I understand the frustration, but I would caution you, or I would not caution you, but I would say I would soothe you a little bit, be like, yeah, but they stood up when it mattered.
Yes, exactly. I mean, and I corrected myself unnecessarily. It was Joshua Josephs who had the scoop and score, who, by the way, looks like a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Joshua Josephs. It's going to be fascinating to see which of these guys play themselves into a conversation in the draft, like we were talking about with Brazel. Because going into the season, it was really Jermod McCoy, and everybody else was like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. But if Joshua Josephs and Tyree West and Jackson Moy and this Tennessee front continues to play the way it's playing, I wonder if those guys can start to creep into some day one, day two conversations as far as the draft is concerned. But, yeah, to your point, Mississippi State gets the ball back at the end of the fourth quarter. Tie game. Like 2 minutes left on the clock. 3 and out. Mississippi State gets the ball in overtime, needing a touchdown. Tennessee gets the stop near the goal line. When it mattered most, the defense stepped up. Mm-hmm. They made game-changing plays, 2 defensive touchdowns, both affected by the pass rush. The Colton Hood pick 6 on the tip drill that had Shapen hurrying his throw, and obviously the scoop and score on the hit by West and the run back by Josephs. This defense has been disruptive. Yes, it needs to be better at stopping the run. The Mississippi State run game also slowed down throughout the course of the game. And I think a lot of people learned Fluff Bothwell's name on Saturday.
Great name.
He had a great performance. Averaged 5.8 yards per carry, had his 2 touchdowns. But I'm not griping about this defense right now. Like, I want to see them get healthy and see how they continue to affect the quarterback and shore up some of these things that they have without a question struggled with, especially here during this bye week, to see how they respond next Saturday when they host Arkansas, who comes in with Bobby Petrino, Taylon Green playing quarterback. They fired their coach, but I'm not going to overlook that Arkansas game. They gave Ole Miss a run. They had a chance to win that game against Ole Miss. I know they got blown out. They looked lifeless against Notre Dame, but Tennessee lost in Arkansas last year, so that's pretty fresh in everybody's minds. I'm not going to sit here and dismiss that Arkansas game quite yet, as good as Tennessee has been at home. But the most pleasant surprise, without a doubt, wide receiver, and I think this defense is not getting enough credit for what it did Saturday.
It's been a pleasant surprise. Thank God. We need some joy during football season. By the way, Vandy and Alabama this weekend. I cannot wait to see how that's going to play out in Tuscaloosa this weekend. We don't have Vanderbilt people on very often, and I'm sure they're popular asks this week. We may be a little late in the process to see if Clark Lee is available, but I'd love to talk to Clark Lee if we could. Robert, is that something that you could accommodate?
Probably not, but I'll try. I'll do my best.
We'll do better than that.
Here, let me call him real quick. Beep, 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 beep. Hello, Clark Lee. Yes? Yeah, I figured. All right, I'll let him know. Yeah, love you too. Thanks, Clark. Yeah, he said no way in hell he's coming on this show.
Jason Fitz next. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken, the best hot chicken in the world. Jason Fitz, Yahoo Sports Daily. My babysitter from 5 to 7 p.m. Saturday afternoons on Fox Sports Radio. Joins us weekly. Fitzy is with us now on 104.5 The Zone. What was your reaction when your center for the Las Vegas Raiders left the nose tackle unblocked and swallowed Ashton Genty whole, even though Genty had a great game over the weekend?
Well, look, offensive line issues have been an issue for the Raiders, and I think Titans fans can feel this to their core. Like, the problem is every year we get into the draft, and as I've said on this show before, and I've covered the draft every year of my career. I love covering the draft. The hardest position for any of us to really break down or cover is anybody on the offensive line. So I've got 5 or 6 fat guys that I reach out to, that I text to about offensive line play, because what do I know about it, right? So the hard part is that every year we get into the draft, and this is inevitable for the Titans when this season goes off the rails, the easy thing to do is fall in love with the wide receiver, a quarterback, a corner, any of those things. I think most of the time you really want to fix your team, fix your offensive line first. Fix your offensive line first, fix your defensive line second, and then worry about the rest of it. And I was just talking to our staff on this on Yahoo Sports Daily. The concept is I'm going to draft a quarterback, and that means everything gets better. I think what we have to acknowledge is that if you live in the sea of suck, having a quarterback that's great can at least pull you to mediocrity, and that's all you're desperate for. But then you wake up one day and you realize that you're now stuck in mediocrity, and you don't take the next leap to becoming elite until you truly have a great team around you. Even Kansas City, which hasn't had a great team the last couple of years, Field Yates pointed out, at one point went on a run of 5 consecutive years where every one of the picks that they had in the first 3 rounds was starting for their football team. You have to draft successfully year in and year out. You have to support your offensive and defensive line. That's the way you get better. Otherwise, every pick is essentially wasted until you get that fixed.
Draft talk in September feels like it's looming large, even though it's the last day of September. I'm trying to fight it off as best I can, Fitzy, but, it's the sea of suck has engulfed us all. We are in a tsunami of suck here in Tennessee at this point in time. And the thing is, they drafted the quarterback, and the quarterback is getting worse because they are so wretched around him. 26-0, it was the score. And I know you were texting me throughout the course of this game. I don't know how much of it you actually stuck through. God bless you for watching any of it at all. Willingly, the rest of the population here is a bit held hostage by the local professional football team. But when you see the circumstance devolving around Cam Ward, what does that tell you about the state of the franchise?
That everything's broken. And here's the hardest part about it, because of our love and my love of Nashville in general, I actually second screened it. I put the Titans-Texans on by itself on a second screen, and I was like, let's watch this thing. I made it through 3 quarters before I was like, I just can't do it anymore. I was midway through the 3rd quarter. I was like, I'm not going to subject myself to this if I don't have to. The hard part about it is what we have to understand is that this level of broken, when you reach it, has so many just trickle effects all over the place, right? Like, so think about what it's like right now to be a Titans fan. And I think this is a similarity, honestly, between Vegas and Nashville. There's so many great ways to spend money in the city of Las Vegas. There's so many great ways to spend money in the city of Nashville, whether it's eating out, whether it's going to Lower Broad, whether it's just being part of an expensive place to live. There are options all the time. Every single tour comes through your city. Every single thing to do comes through Nashville, Tennessee, right? So at some point, what happens is you just realize your money's better spent elsewhere. And the problem with that is it creates generational impact. And I think that's what the Titans need to understand today, is that their level of suck consistently for the last several years is creating generational apathy. And if people stop caring, then what happens? Because I am the fan that I am because I have childhood core memories of watching Raiders games with my dad. Sure. People in your city are Vols fans. Like Nashville, I lived there for over 20 years, right? Like you're a Vols fan because your grandpa is a Vols fan and your dad's a Vols fan. You guys sat there every Saturday and watched games. Like that's what happens for most people that root for a team. You're not doing that in Nashville. The trickle-down effect of the team being this bad for this long is that what happens is now all of a sudden on Sunday, family goes and does something else. They're not watching the Raiders game. There's a 10-year-old right now not getting formative memories being part of the Titans. And what the Titans are going to have to accept is that the impact of this is going to last 10 years if they don't figure it out quickly. If you don't figure out how to be at least competent, you're going to open a stadium and nobody in the world is going to give a damn, because why would you spend your hard-earned money to get a PSL at that stadium to watch that football team. Like it just all feels broken, man. And I don't think anything fixes that easily.
Well, I want you to hear this clip that we played yesterday. This is from the training camp, the 2024 training camp, after they hired Brian Callahan. So this is before Brian Callahan's first year, before they go 3-14, before all of this nonsense has continued to spiral. This is Titans president Bert Nihill on with our morning show last year, Fitzy, talking about the hiring of Brian Callahan. I want to see what you make of this.
It feels really, really good in the Tennessee Titans practice facility these days. There is definitely a freshness, but Brian Callahan, you can do all your research on somebody, you can get references, you can do hours and hours of interviews with someone, but you don't really know completely what you have until someone gets in the building. I mean, I think that's true of a marketing position, it's true of an accounting position, but when you're talking about a head coach, it's really, really important that you have a really good recruiting process and you make a wise decision. Since Brian got here, we thought that we got this right. We crushed it. Brian Callahan is the real deal. He sets a tone as a leader. He's as smart as they come. He is, low ego, high impact. And so I think the future is bright. I think the present's bright too, but I think the future is especially bright given this aligned approach to the football organization with a head coach like Brian Callahan.
Yeah, how's that going, Fitz?
So either you got it that wrong, or you have done everything you possibly can to tear it down since you got it right. Either way,
well, that's the thing. The veiled shots, and listen, whatever Mike Vrabel is, not a perfect coach. I'm not saying that, you can't have issues with a guy who's had success, right? And that can't lead to a parting of ways at some point in time. But it's the veiled shots, not even veiled shots, about the vibes in the building and the alignment of the football organization. And now they're 3-18 under this head coach that they said they crushed it when they hired him. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, but that's the point, right? So either you did such a poor job of making this hire that even, a month after you still thought you crushed it. Either the wool was pulled over your eyes, which is a problem, or you've broken everything down around him to the point that he can't be who you thought he was going to be, which is a problem. Vrabel is a difficult man. I think that's a fair thing to say. You've covered him. I think it's fair to say Vrabel is a difficult person.
Difficult is very diplomatic.
I'm trying to be very, very diplomatic here. I'll be honest. I've been around a lot of football coaches in my life and a lot of successful ones, and they're difficult. There's a lot of difficult ones. There's a lot of guys that don't have a great vibe or energy in the room. But when you win football games, nobody cares about that. It's just part of the charm of it. Like Bill Belichick was charming to people in New England. Bill Belichick in North Carolina is not charming at all, right? Like the wins sort of forgive everything. I think the bigger part of this is since that moment, you've won 3 football games. So this whole, continuity. No. You got to look around now and say, well, I know we don't have the answer. I don't know what the answer is, but I know this isn't the answer. So I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off, and I'm going to figure something else out. And you just keep ripping the Band-Aid off. I know you guys put it up on social, and a lot of people were commenting, this is such a sad way. No, like this doesn't have to be sad. Like you have info, and I'll go back to my music life. Like there were times that you'd record a song, and the label would say, man, this song's going to be number 1. We're going to move it to number 1. And then it gets stuck at 15. That happened for when I was with the band Perry. Chainsaw was a song that the label promised us was going to go number 1. It got stuck at 15. And the minute it got stuck at 15, the label's like, we're out. Right? My thing is like, okay, no worries. We thought it was going to be something. It wasn't. So now what do you do with the information you have? I don't give a damn how we got here. Today, everybody in the world knows that Brian Callahan's going to get fired. Just fire him and then figure out what you're doing next and rip the Band-Aid off. To me, like just sitting around for the next 3 months is doing nothing but just poking your fans, and just every single Sunday you're slapping your fans in the face with a pancake saying, good luck. You get to watch this game today. Like, I don't think that that's good for anybody's morale.
Well, Fitzy, they're using him as a meat shield because they don't want to answer questions about how they got it so wrong. People like Bert Nihill, who were very much involved in that hiring process. Like there's not a good reason to keep him. The only reason is there's self-preservation at this point in time. Anyway, let's talk about happier things. Lucas, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
How is morale, Fitzy? The band Perry spurred for the halftime show. Spurned, I should say, for Bad Bunny in Santa Clara.
Yeah. Look, Bad Bunny, it's funny because the most streamed artist in the world, And there are still people that are sitting around saying, oh, Bad Bunny, like who's Bad Bunny? Like I've actually heard who is Bad Bunny repeatedly, which is just a reminder, if you're saying who's Bad Bunny, you're probably not fully aware of the process, right? And so I can speak to the process. I talked to people involved in the process when we played the Fox pregame show. I sat down because I was a nerd at the time at the Super Bowl in New York, and I talked to the people that made the decision. At the time I was talking to people. Now I'm just a nerd. But the one of the biggest things they stressed, even when Pepsi was running the halftime show, and it's different now with Rock Nation and Apple, but even when Pepsi was running it, one thing they stressed is their target audience are people that don't usually watch football. So if a football fan is already a fan of an artist, it serves no audience to the Super Bowl. They want to get people that otherwise wouldn't really care involved in it. They did that in a massive way with Bad Bunny. You go out and you get a global phenomenon of an artist. Now, that being said, y'all, I don't think it's going to be a great halftime show. I think a great halftime show comes from like pump, vibe, and energy, like the whole time. Like you just got to feel something through your TV. The whole reason I thought Usher would be kind of a lame halftime show, and I stand by, I think he was. Usher makes great baby making music, not great halftime music. Like I'm at a party, I got like food and drinks. I want the speakers turned all the way up. I want the room to thump, and I want everybody to jump up and down. I don't want that to be the moment that I like sneak over to the couch and try and like nuzzle up to Buck and be like, hey, how you feeling? Like, and that like there's something about Bad Bunny's music's a little too mid-tempo for me. I think it's going to be a little bit of a vibey halftime show. The Weeknd, Usher, I think they've proven that vibey halftime shows don't work.
If you don't think I'm capable of squeezing in a quickie at halftime, you underestimate me, sir.
Well, I mean, certainly, I know that's shooting longer than your average, but I'm just saying, Buck, at some point.
That's what I'm saying. You got to work that hard, right?
I just think that maybe halftime of the Super Bowl is a time where we should be getting pumped, and we should be like pickleback should be being poured. We shouldn't be worried about, a little snuggly action.
So Nickelback should have been the answer then. That's unfortunate.
Everybody says they hate Nickelback, yet they sell out everywhere they go. So who's the liar?
Oh, you won't find any hate over here for Nickelback. Penn State fans, where's the hate level right now for James Franklin, Jason Fitz, after another loss that how do you reconcile with yet another gut punch of all gut punches after Penn State lost the way that they did, coming back, forcing overtime, scoring first in overtime, still losing in double OT?
I think you accept that you enjoy Saturdays and you don't expect national championships. And, Buck was the one that said, quoting Josh Pate, that, the most properly rated head coach. And James Franklin, I thought a lot about that during that game because Dan Lanning is underrated. Dan Lanning has put together a program that is just flat out elite, and they are going to find ways to beat you. Good teams find a way to win. Bad teams find a way to lose. In the process of this game, the number of times I thought, which sideline do you trust more? And we got more of that. So if you're a Penn State fan, look, if you want to enjoy most Saturdays, you're going to have the opportunity to enjoy 10, 11 Saturdays a year. If your goal is national championships, what proof do you have? The most likely outcome is that Penn State's going to lose their game to Ohio State. They'll be 10-2. They'll still make the college football playoff because they'll kill everybody else along the way. They'll play a first-round game against, UNLV or Tulsa. They'll win, and then they'll play an actual real football team, and they'll get their ass kicked. And then Penn State fans will lose their minds, and they'll run the same cycle back next year. Like that, you're just stuck where you are. But I would also say that's a lot better than, being a fan of a 3 or 4 win team every single year. You just got to find joy in Saturdays that result in wins, but not seasons that result in national championships.
Bama fans found plenty of joy as the Kirby-Bama hump still can't get over it. They bounced back from that week 1 disaster at Florida State. Suddenly, Alabama's being talked about as a contender again. And Fitz, it's setting up the biggest game in Vanderbilt history in the modern era. You mentioned you've lived here. You've been around Vanderbilt football, the discourse or lack thereof around Vanderbilt football. How much are you looking at this game with just a cautious eye in Tuscaloosa? How much are you expecting this to be a game, a heavyweight matchup with College game day in the house and Vanderbilt visiting Alabama?
So I was wrong about Bama last week. I thought they were going to lose to Georgia. Bama surprised me, and I want to give them a ton of credit for what I thought was just a big win. And, I thought that Georgia's defense would confuse Alabama's offense. That did not happen, right? Alabama just went out there and looked explosive. Now we get Alabama, an angry Alabama team, in Tuscaloosa against a Vandy team that has been just on one ever since they beat them last year. This feels like the thunder of the gods. But I'll be honest, y'all, it's impossible for me to take, like, I got a Vandy football helmet a foot from me. It is impossible for me to take a lifetime of watching Vanderbilt football out of my head right now. Like, if we just took the logos off the chest and we looked at these two football teams, there's a part of me would love to find, Diego's played a lot of football. Clark Lee has put together a really fundamentally sound football team that's a lot better athletically than anybody wants to give Vandy credit for. They can hang with anybody. I want to believe this can be a game, but then the jerseys do come on. And I think angry Alabama at home, oh, God, I feel like roll tide. This feels like take Bama, take the points. I hope I'm wrong because I want the chaos of Vandy doing this a second. To be very clear, I want Vanderbilt to beat Alabama just so everybody's losing their minds. I just don't see it. I just don't, especially as well as Ty played last week. That unlocks a level of confidence that carries right over to this one. Game day's there. Whew, this feels like a 3-touchdown win to me.
What's the line?
I don't know.
Does anybody know, Lucas? Or
let me see.
Could somebody pull that up?
Can I get a guess from both of you?
Vandy in Tuscaloosa, Fitzy. I'll make Alabama 7.5 point favorite.
Fitz?
I will go 12.5.
I'm seeing 10.5.
10.5.
Oh.
Okay.
10.5 in favor of Alabama.
So Fitzy lower on the Commodores. I'm obviously higher on the Commodores. I don't know. I'm trying to manifest it, Fitzy, and I shouldn't get emotional about these things, but I don't know how to quantify what Clark Lee has found other than to say he's put together a deeper roster. He has buy-in and belief of his team. His quarterback is an absolute world beater, even though he's not physically a world beater, right? The way that they respond when they are back against the wall type situation, they did it against Utah State. I understand Utah State and Alabama are not in the same caliber of competition here, but there's just something about this Vandy team I'm not a belief person, okay? Famously a skeptic and a cynic, all right? But I believe in Vanderbilt.
So here's the thing. If it's a close game, if we're 6 minutes left, 3-point game, I believe, to your point, this Vanderbilt team has such strength and unity and we can make it through anything. I believe that. The problem is I don't think it's going to be a one-possession game with 6 minutes to go. Like, that's the hard part about it. Like, if we're talking a close game, I still have my issues with Kalen DeBoer. My trust issues are real with Kalen DeBoer, and they're just going to exist with Kalen DeBoer. I think Kalen DeBoer is a very good football coach. I just don't think he's Nick Saban, and I think it's okay to say that. And I also think it's okay to caveat that he had his best success with a college football quarterback that had been in his system before, that was brought back to his system with wide receivers that had been in college football for a long time. Like, he was running out there with a 40-year-old team in the college football landscape and got to a national championship. I respect all of that. I just don't think that that's something that gets replicated year in and year out. So I don't love Kalen DeBoer. I like Kalen DeBoer. I love Clark Lee. I just don't know that, like, in a horse race, love and like, it's still going to come down to the horses. And my God, the horses are just faster, bigger, and stronger for Alabama.
Sure.
But isn't that the wild card here, Fitz? Because we just saw Alabama do something that Nick Saban teams would do, right? In a game that's expected to go one way, they just went in and just established themselves in Athens. The way they did, honestly, last year going into LSU. Such a Nick Saban-esque performance, right? Titanic matchup. Loser eliminated from the playoff. Jalen Milroe runs for 1,000 yards. It's a blowout win in Baton Rouge under the lights. But that's the wild card because this isn't the Nick Saban Alabama. This is the Alabama that we saw go and get dog-walked by Oklahoma after that impressive win at LSU. That's what, for me, leaves that tiny little window open of could this actually happen for Vanderbilt?
Until they play last year's game. Like, that's you're right. Everything you just said, like, I could see them sleepwalking through Vandy. But, man, if you sleepwalk through Vandy a year after Vandy does that to you, I don't understand how that could be allowed to happen. So this is one of those moments where I feel like Buck and I can be in the gym for a long time, and we can get ready for our big moment at WrestleMania, and we walk in as tag team partners, but we're taking on The Rock and John Cena, and no matter how much we practice, we are going to get our asses kicked. So, like, it just feels like if the hope is Bama is asleep at the wheel, I think you lost that hope based on what happened last year.
I don't know. I saw John Cena in Paris. He looked pretty old and tired.
Well,
I feel like we got a shot.
Look, yeah, $10.
Also, isn't The Rock like super skinny now? Aren't there pictures of him floating around? Robert, is this just AI? Have I been fooled by the internet?
No,
again?
he is super skinny. He is skinny. He lost some weight for a role. But Buck, come on, dude. Like, super skinny Rock and old John Cena are still kicking our asses. Like, I know that you work out at 5 a.m. every day to sweat out the alcohol from the night before. And you know that I'm on a journey of trying to get abs. Like, I'm eating everything. Like, I'm trying one ab to get another ab to grow in. But, like, let's be honest, at some point, the fact that neither of us are that nimble, like, neither of us are that limber, like, we're going to get thrown around, and it's not going to go well for us.
And you also are old and tired, by the way.
I am.
Wait, whoa, why? Me?
He's talking to me because also, I think we're just lucky that I haven't delved full into alcoholism yet, given the franchise that I cover on a daily basis. Jason Fitz, Yahoo Sports Daily, and Fox Sports Radio on Saturday evenings with me, where you can hang out with us. You can check out the Fox Sports Radio podcast as well if you miss us live during your college football Saturday. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Love you, Fitz.
Love you guys. Yeah. I don't love Buck though.
You guys.
I'm out on Buck. I'm out on Buck. Yeah. I love everybody but Buck.
Join the club.
Buck is the only one I will couch snuggle with at halftime, but I love I lust Buck. I love everybody else. I'm only making America more uncomfortable.
You know what?
You're welcome,
that's my entire existence anyway. I'm good with it. Thank you, Fitzy.
All right, thank you.
That's Jason Fitz with us. On 104.5 The Zone, our high school football hero of the week, Chevville running back Robert Bailey, joins us next. We love doing our high school football hero segments. Had to skip last week, just a scheduling conflict, and we're expected to be joined by Shelbyville running back Robert Bailey here in just a moment. He's an Austin Peay commit. It had to be exciting to watch Austin Peay at least push Georgia a little bit and get the upset over MTSU earlier in the college football season. So we'll look forward to talking to Robert here in just a second. Where were you this past weekend for high school football? My TV 30 every Friday.
Yeah, I was at Ravenwood last weekend for a thriller. Overtime win for Ravenwood over CPA. Great game. 2 contenders out of different divisions and great crowd. Ravenwood High School always delivers. I heard Ron Slay was in the house. I did not see him out there. But
what? Wasn't he supposed to be in Starkville by then?
He was in Starkville. He's everywhere. But we will
be exhausting to be Slay.
Yeah, I can't imagine. He does it well. Thursday night football this week. We are going to Stewart's Creek. They are hosting Blackman in a big region showdown. Looking forward to that.
Okay.
So you will be free Friday night then?
Technically, yes.
Okay. Good to know.
Why? We're going. There's not a concert to go to on Friday, is there?
Well, not we, but sometimes me and Lucas like to go have a daddy-daughter date, go hang out, go to an Asian grocery store, buy some chicken wings, make them at his house, eat them, fall asleep, wake up. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Time to go home. Sometimes that's how we like to spend our Friday nights.
I just imagine Lucas's roommates coming home, looking around, being like, "Oh, he's here again."
No, his roommates love me.
You know how Robert Bailey spends his Friday nights?
How's that?
Running all over the place.
Yes.
He has 975 yards on the season.
God.
I mean, most high school teams.
How many weeks are we in? 6, 7?
We are going into week 7.
We're going into week 7.
This week. So this is a guy, like you said, Austin Peay commit, that last year in a deep postseason run for Shelbyville rushed for over 1,800 yards on the season. He has been red hot this year, too, averaging 7.7 yards per carry on 126 carries, 5 rushing touchdowns for Robert Bailey Jr., after scoring 23 rushing touchdowns a year ago. Fun guy to watch.
To your point, 30 carries, 254 yards, 3 touchdowns in that 24-17 win over Summit. They are working to get him?
Yeah, I've been talking to Coach Judge Ryden of Shelbyville, who apparently they are currently in a presentation with Inky Johnson.
Oh,
the great Inky Johnson.
That sounds more important.
It does sound more important. So he's working to get Robert pulled out of the room. If he can't make it in the next few minutes, then it's okay. I do want to give him. Did you read his numbers from their win over Summit over the weekend?
I just did that. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Yeah.
Or read it again because I wasn't listening.
30 carries, 254 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 24-17 win.
What must it be like to be a high school athlete and have a game like that? Because, you look and you're in college, and it's like, okay, you get done, you go back to the hotel or the NFL, like, okay, big win, you go party. In high school, I feel like you go back and put your stat sheet on your fridge. Like, how do you get to celebrate as a high school kid responsibly? Milk and cookies at the library for everyone. Like, it just got to be tough.
Just go home.
Yeah. I'm going to go play some Halo.
Maybe have an extra Frisco melt at the Steak and Shake late night with your boys.
Yeah, you can go hit a diner.
Oh, we used to tear the Waffle House up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
See, for us,
everybody has those late night spots that you go to after the high school football game.
For us, it was Steak and Shake after games. On Wednesdays, though, the football team would go to, not with the coaching staff, but with the whoever could drive at the time would take us all to, I think it was unlimited wings or bottomless wings at Hooters on Wednesdays, which is really just eating breading, but it's fine.
No, don't you.
When's the last time you've been in a Hooters? You're probably the wrong person to ask.
Don't you disparage the Hooters. I love a good spicy garlic. It's very hot, very garlicky, just like I like it.
I'm told to give a quick call back, and they should have Robert for a couple minutes here.
So we'll look forward to that. So maybe we can ask him where the late night spot is, not the
in Shelbyville. I'd be curious.
Not to blow up his spot.
So Shelbyville is 3-3. They have won 3 out of their last 4. So they're on a bit of a run here. They go to Clarksville this Thursday. A lot of Thursday games happening. Oh no, correction. I'm sorry. They are actually off this week. This is their bye week. Next Thursday they go to Clarksville before finishing out their season with a couple of region games. Great program. Again, last year made it all the way to the quarterfinals in Class 5A, lost to Page after a phenomenal season. But Robert Bailey Jr. leading the charge for that group that's looking to make another deep run this year.
And the Shelbyville running back joins us now on 104.5 The Zone for our high school football hero of the week. Like I said, 30 carries, 254 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a 24-17 win over Summit. Robert, thank you for taking the time. I'm sorry if we didn't pull you out early of this Inky Johnson thing, did we?
No, sir. It was good.
Okay, thank God. Inky, I mean,
inspiring.
That's awesome that you guys are getting to visit with him. They have him on the morning show here every Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? What was the biggest takeaway from Inky Johnson today?
Yes, sir. He just telling us about how he got injured. Like good things always happen to good people, and he just telling us about his home life and how he grew from that and had people helping him and create the person he is today.
And an incredibly awesome person. You guys had an awesome performance. I know it's not just about the individual numbers; it's about the collective effort for you guys as a team. I mean, what are you taking your offensive line to dinner after a game like that, or what does that look like?
If I had the money, I definitely would. but I always give them props everywhere I go. I tell people if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing.
And you're doing some crazy things, man. We just read off your numbers from that 24-17 win at Summit. Another huge year for you. You're coming up on 1,000 yards, and you've barely played over half of the season after an 1,800-yard season last year. I know that you always will defer praise to your offensive line, the guys around you in these situations. But I am curious, Robert, is there a running back that you grew up watching, modeling your game after, even if it's just multiple running backs that you feel like you've taken a piece from? Is there anybody that comes to mind that you've kind of adapted your run style after?
Yes, sir. I used to watch Emmitt Smith really a lot. And I used to watch Jamar Gibbs. He's a recent running back now. And that's about it. Barry Sanders.
Oh, man. You're going back into the catalog there. So Barry Sanders you're watching on YouTube, I'm assuming, and Jahmyr Gibbs you're watching on Sundays.
Yes, sir.
So with the way that you guys are approaching the season, obviously we're more than halfway through the high school football season, and you guys are looking to accomplish you guys obviously have greater goals beyond just winning or taking it week by week, but you have to keep the main thing at Clarksville this coming weekend. What stands out about the matchup? I'm sorry, next weekend. What stands out? Do you start to prepare for that ahead of time, or is that a situation where you just kind of give yourself a little time to decompress?
Oh, yes, sir. We're just fixing us right now, getting the missing pieces and trying to stay healthy, get our people back healthy that's injured.
We were talking about it, Robert. After Friday nights in Shelbyville, Tennessee, what's the move? After a big win, after you guys knocked off Independence at home a couple of weeks ago in a shootout, 31-28, what's the move for your team, the student body? Where's everybody going after the game?
We'll be going to Waffle House.
Nice. Yes.
Hell yeah. See, it was steak and shake for me. I'm old. I'm 32 now. Steak and shake for me. But we would go to bottomless wings at Hooters on Wednesdays. A lot of the linemen. That was kind of the tradition for us.
Robert Buck has not been indoctrinated. He's actually never been to a Waffle House in his life.
Never.
Somehow. What is your waffle?
Go to one.
What's your order?
Go to one. I'll be getting 2 waffles, just breakfast, even though it's late at night.
No, there's no bad time to get a breakfast meal. All right, I need to go to Waffle House. This is going to be a show field trip at some point. Hey, Robert, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, and continued health and success for the rest of you and your team.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
That's Robert Bailey of Shelbyville High School. They are off this weekend and taking on Clarksville they're at Clarksville on October the 9th.
Yep. Love you, Robert.
He's gone.
You can't say that to a high school kid.
I'm not. Come on. You're the one making this inappropriate.
I'm sorry.
You're doing a great job. Love you,
Do
Robert.
you want to have to pick up the phone every time you call a high schooler and say, hey, I just have to inform you I can't be within 100 feet of a school?
I just have to inform you that I love you as a person.
Let's not do that.
I respect your career. Yeah, sorry about that. You're making this something.
You did this. I didn't.
Also, hearing you guys talk to another Robert with respect.
Oh, you didn't like that?
I'm jealous, bro.
Well, how about you rush for 195 yards a game?
Give me the ball, coach. Put me in.
he'd make it to, like the 5-yard line. He'd make it 5 yards ahead, need a cigarette, and start huffing and puffing.
I'm a fullback. I open the holes up. I don't go through them.
Phrasing. 615-737-1045 is the number. So I am conflicted about the situation where Jackson Dart looks like the better rookie quarterback between the two of them that are starting right now in Jackson Dart and Cam Ward. I'm going to tell you why I think the Titans should have traded the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft coming up next.
12:03. Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Lucas Panzica. A Monday Night Football doubleheader finished out Week 4 as the Dolphins held off the Jets and picked up their first win, 27-21. But it came with the loss of wideout Tyreek Hill. He was carted off the field with a season-ending knee injury. Bo Nix had over 300 passing yards and 3 total touchdowns. The Broncos shut down the Bengals 28-3. They get to 2-2. Meanwhile, the Titans reportedly will open Tyjae Spears' window to return after he started the season on IR with an ankle sprain. For all your foundation repairs and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once in your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Final hour is upon us, and we're happy to have you, Lucas, Robert, and me, with you until 1 o'clock. The Titans are 0-4. As Lucas told you yesterday, it's the first time since 2009. 2009 was different because you had Vince Young. The last time the Titans were shut out in a game was 2019. 2019 was different because you had Ryan Tannehill come off the bench. These Titans have nothing. They are in, as Jason Fitz calls it, the sea of suck. And there does not appear to be a life raft coming in their direction at any time soon. So with each passing week, as this football team gets worse, and as things continue to fail around Cam Ward, and Cam Ward's performance suffers as a result, I'm becoming more entrenched. It doesn't matter now. What's done is done. But I'm becoming more entrenched in my position that the Titans should have traded the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft to build a better roster to support a future quarterback. I get that you want to get the quarterback and that the quarterback is going to be the thing that keeps you interested in the football team this year, and that Cam Ward has the potential to be something for this franchise for a long, long time. But the percentage of burnout rate on first-round pick quarterbacks is all over the place. We don't need to reread you the stats. Less than half of them, less than 47% of them even win a playoff game for the team that drafts them, and that's not number 1 overall picks as a whole. That's just guys drafted in the first round. Jackson Dart is not in a great situation in New York, but Jackson Dart has more around him. He has a defense that's going to give him a chance in games. He has Malik Neighbors, a first-round pick unto himself. He has a situation that at least there are things to give him a chance to win football games. I don't know how sustainable Cam Scatterbo is going to be as an NFL football player. He's a great vibes guy based on the way that New York has rallied around him and the Giants getting a win over the weekend, gutting it out in a gritty performance. But that defense gave Jackson Dart chances time in and time out to win games. They have Abdul Carter. They didn't have to trade anything. And the Giants, reportedly, according to Adam Schefter, if you remember the night of the draft, the day of the draft, Adam Schefter getting on there as the number 1 overall pick clock was starting on, what was that, April the 25th, and saying, yeah, the Giants had a Godfather offer out there for the Titans that included their number 3 overall pick, which ended up being Abdul Carter, a 2026 first-rounder, and other picks to the Titans so that they could move up and draft Cam Ward. What's the difference between the Titans roster and the Giants roster, Lucas?
Just go ahead.
Malik Neighbors in a pass rush for Cam Ward. The Giants were in a better position to support Cam Ward than the Tennessee Titans are. And here's why I think it's difficult. I think Titans fans deserve good things. I think they deserve a quarterback that they believe in. Their franchise, though, is failing him and them at the same time, and there's no end in sight to this until the end of the season. Cam Ward is not being adequately supported. He's being failed at every turn. I know we're only 4 games into this nonsense and that there's room for improvement and things like that, and that what's done is done. But I can't help but have this feeling in the back of my head watching him flounder about out there against a Houston pass rush that was teeing off on him or had the opportunity to tee off on him at every turn, that he would be better served on a franchise or on a team that had more around him than he's going to be able to will himself and will his teammates to right now on the NFL's currently worst roster.
Yeah, I get why it's easy to feel that way with the hindsight of these first 4 games of the season, because the quarterback play has not been good, right, in terms of the results and the production, and nobody's sitting around saying it's because the quarterback's not good. It is because of the circumstances. Now, Cam Ward probably had his worst performance of the season on Sunday, right, in terms of just missing guys. And so you wonder if the amount of hits, the amount of sacks are starting to get to him, even if he was as well protected, ironically, on Sunday as any past game this season. But I still, I have a hard time with these discussions, right, where we try to take a decision made in the moment all the way back in April, the end of April, and now bring it back around and say, okay, now with the information that we have on September 30th, do we still think that decision in the moment is the best decision?
It's kind of lazy by me. I get it.
I mean, it's a hard game to play.
But I just feel bad for him out there, Lucas. Yeah. I'm in that post-game press conference with him on Sunday night. I'm watching him just...
Yeah, he's frustrated. He's not been through this. For me, the decision in the moment remains always. You just get your guy.
Yeah.
And I just always come back to a franchise that as little as 3 years, not even, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, what looked to be the most dumpster fire, poorly ran organization in the National Football League in the Houston Texans. And just how quickly, with the hiring of D'Amico Ryans and the drafting of C.J. Stroud, they suddenly looked competent, and obviously letting go of the mad preacher who was dragging them down. And
Jack Easterby.
Yeah.
What a time.
Now,
look at
differences
Houston now.
There. Yeah.
Look at C.J. Stroud now.
Yeah.
I'm looking, that's what made it more visceral for me on Sunday in particular, because I'm watching C.J. Stroud. Just airmail passes. Just miss guys. Pump faking way too much, taking sacks because he shook. They are failing. They are currently failing C.J. Stroud. And yeah, they put up 26 on a bad Titans team, and that's not going to fix all their problems.
Somehow their offense has deteriorated, or offensive line has deteriorated year over year over year since the moment they drafted Stroud. And the other difference, too, between the Texans in 2023 and the Titans in 2025, they had 9 draft picks that year. The amount of starters that they drafted in that 2023 draft alone, with Stroud and obviously Will Anderson both in the top 5. The Texans had so much ammunition to go up and get their guy. We talked about it. The Titans probably wanted C.J. Stroud in that draft. And the Texans,
they did. Not probably, they did.
And the Texans just had more ammo to go up and get him. They also drafted Tank Dell in that draft, and Xavier Hutchinson, and Henry To'oTo'o.
And they've had injuries.
They've had, some of those guys, obviously we haven't seen Tank Dell, but multiple starters, if healthy, for the Houston Texans were taken in that draft because they had so much capital to work with. So it also timed up a little bit better for them because the Titans aren't there. They're not where they want to be in terms of the amount of draft capital. They certainly didn't have the amount of draft capital that they want to be at over the course of the next couple of years in this past draft. So it's this catch-22. It's a hard place to be, but I still always lean towards if you have a guy there that you believe is the guy, you get the guy. Because at the end of the day, that still is the hardest thing to get.
I just think that there are ways to make it work with lesser players. Because your guy can still be, Sam Darnold, the Seahawks aren't perfect this year, but Sam Darnold is having success in Seattle. And I'm not saying that the Titans should have paid Sam Darnold and traded the pick, but if you did that in this situation, you still wouldn't have as good a roster as the Seahawks, but you can find ways to make plug-and-play quarterback you can find ways to make a quarterback more plug-and-play if you have more around him to support. I know it's this everlasting conversation that we can have. It's a donut. We're just going round and round and round on it because, to your point, having a guy makes a huge difference when there are plays to be made outside of structure that Sam Darnold or Jimmy Garoppolo or whatever replacement level quarterback that were Ryan Tannehill, right? See guys with clear and obvious ceilings, but are good enough to get you going in the right direction and make you a better football team as a result, even if those moments like the Cincinnati Bengals game for Tannehill or the Super Bowl for Garoppolo made it to the Super Bowl. Airmailed like 2 passes, and it was the difference between them winning and losing against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that was the 19 Super Bowl. Mahomes' first, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not a perfect argument, but I don't want him to get. I don't want what happened to Daniel Jones with the Giants and Baker Mayfield with the Browns and all of these rehabilitated quarterbacks. I don't want it for Titans fans, and I don't want it for Cam Ward. I don't want him to be the next cautionary tale. 4 games is not a big sample size. I understand that. Maybe something turns around at some point in time, and they don't have to be this bad forever, even though it feels like we've been in this bad situation collectively forever. But I'm watching C.J. Stroud on the other side and being like, oh, God, don't let that happen to Cam Ward.
Well, the one thing that can, I think, change in this conversation is one thing that, if not turn around, at the very least improve marginally week over week, and that is the offensive line situation. Once J.C. Latham comes back at right tackle, because that was another thing that, for me, strengthened going and getting your guy at quarterback now. That, no, it's not a talented football team. They don't have many pass rushers that you can count on to affect the quarterback, right? They don't have depth in hardly any areas. It's Calvin Ridley and everybody else and unproven rookies at receiver. We knew all these things, but we talked about it in training camp, that the offensive line had a chance that we thought to be. Yeah. Like, we were cautiously saying, we were like, is that the biggest strength of this team? With first-round pick at left guard, first-round pick at right tackle, big money free agent at center, big money free agent at left tackle.
Now, I was dragging my heels
veteran
on that a
and
little
Kevin
bit.
Zeitler.
Like, I got what you were saying, and I understood on a bad roster that the case could be made for that, but I was dragging my heels on that.
But on paper, it looked like a better situation than what the Texans have right now with C.J. Stroud. And obviously, J.C. Latham has kind of just undercut that with the injury, and they're just cycling through, man. John Njoku, Oli Udoh, Dan Moore has struggled.
And I respect that Dan Moore went out there and played through illness.
Yep. And that's a tough rush to face when you were probably throwing up in the morning, whatever he was dealing with. But Callahan told us yesterday that it was close. It was real close, and he ended up just gutting it out. But that's the one thing that you got to think has a chance to improve when it gets back to full health throughout the course of the season. And that should lead to better quarterback play, or at least a better situation for the quarterback to operate in.
But aren't we going to be talking about resetting the board on some of this offensive line stuff again next year? Like, how long is Kevin Zeitler going to do this? You know what I'm saying? He's 15 years in. He's on a 1-year deal. Maybe Jackson
and he's
Slater,
dealt with injuries this year.
You know, maybe Jackson Slater turns it. Like, that was the whole thing with Zeitler. He doesn't miss games, and all of a sudden he's missed. Yeah. It's a game, and we're 4 games in. And Zeitler, we talked to him, when was that? Monday, I guess yesterday, after Brian Callahan's press conference later in the afternoon. And Zeitler was like, yeah, I was on that 0-16 Browns team. We gutted it out, and the anger of going 0-16 fueled that next season. Is Kevin Zeitler going to be around to fuel next season's anger for the Titans that, I mean, would be lucky to win 5 games?
Damn, Zeitler was around on that 0-16 Browns team.
That's 15 years, Lucas.
Not Browns, but Lions. It's a long time ago.
No, he wasn't on his only year with the Lions was last year.
Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, you were confusing me. Okay. Yes, the 0-16 Browns. In my head, you were saying 0-16 Lions.
Yeah, no. It's 0-16.
I was like,
no, he would be like 20 years.
Like in 2008.
25 years in as an offensive lineman. That's the thing, though. Like Zeitler's thing was, yeah, we gutted it out in that bad year, and then the next year we got better. Kevin Zeitler's not going to be here next year, in all likelihood. I mean, maybe, but even then, you're talking about a 36, 37-year-old guard in year 16. Lloyd Cushenberry... it's been a struggle for him. Skoronski and Latham are obviously things that you hope that you can build around for the long term, but damn, man, I don't know. I worry about Cam Ward. I worry about the Titans ruining Cam Ward. And I don't know that they wouldn't have been better served going with a stopgap situation or a veteran quarterback situation and building a better roster as a result. It's tough, but that's where we are at 0-4. Those kind of conversations are only had at 0-4. Bo Hardigree called his first game for the Titans as a play caller on Sunday in Houston. The Titans were shut out 26-0. He spoke earlier today. We'll play some of that audio for you, and we'll also talk about why the Titans have not yet fired Brian Callahan. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone.
What's up, guys? It's Lucas. Let's talk about chicken. Hot chicken. The best hot chicken in the world. It's Hattie B's Hot Chicken. It is scratch made. It is family owned. It is locally owned and operated. And you can visit any one of their 7 Middle Tennessee locations or go to HattieB.com or download the Hattie B's app. You get a free dessert literally by just downloading the app. You can start to build up those rewards. The best thing is there's something for everybody. Hot or not, everything in between. You can get it fried. You can get it grilled. They've even got the chicken skin snacks in-house at a Hattie B's store, packed with protein, great to munch on the go. And Hattie B's is now at Nissan Stadium. You can enjoy your Hattie B's hot chicken while watching the Titans, or let Hattie B's fuel your tailgate or watch party. Get a couple of those big buckets of their jumbo wings, some quarts of those sides. And the sides, if you're like me, are very important, and they are fantastic. The Southern Greens, and my personal favorite, the pimento mac and cheese. You can't go wrong. It's the best in the world. Go to Hattie B's Hot Chicken today.
Welcome back to the show. Fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. The best hot chicken in the world. What the hell's going on in the YouTube chat?
Am I just ignorant?
You did this.
I feel like the moment I brought up Bad Bunny, celebrated Bad Bunny being the Super Bowl halftime show, the chat has just been eating each other alive, eating itself alive.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dumb thing to get worked up about, but there's enough people that...
I genuinely did not know that there was, like, significant backlash to Bad Bunny. Literally, like, the biggest artist on the planet now.
The Kendrick Lamar thing last year?
Show. Yeah, but that wasn't a thing where, like, they announced Kendrick and everybody got pissed off. I guess, I don't know. Kendrick, arguably the greatest or one of the greatest rappers of his generation.
Yes.
Like, that's a controversial thing for him to be the Super Bowl halftime.
I
don't remember there being backlash when Kendrick was announced.
There was. I just think it's going to be, like, I'm just going to have to stay off Twitter during the halftime show because I'm just going to be annoyed. You know, I'm just going to be annoyed by how dumb the dialogue is around it. Just sit back and enjoy the music. If it's not for you, go do something during a halftime show. I don't care if you like it or not.
Go watch an episode of Law and Order or something.
Seriously. Just to take a walk. Like, do something. If it's not for you, nobody cares if you don't like the halftime show. I promise. Nobody does.
I would not have brought it up if I knew how many people
I was honestly surprised. Because normally you get mad at me. Well, not mad at me, but you'll say that I'm inciting things if I bring up something that's even like tangentially polarizing. But yeah, I was shocked that was the thing that you led your headline segment with. It was like, oh, Lucas, controversy. Not really. It's not controversial at all. It's just the most internationally downloaded artist playing the biggest sporting event of the year.
Jeffrey says nobody wants to see a drag show. Like what? He's
drag show.
It's like salsa music. It's like
what?
It's like rap salsa. I'm so confused.
What are you talking about? Drag show.
I regret bringing it up. I do.
I don't at all. I just, like, what are we doing?
Let's hear from Brian Callahan.
I'm going to take a phone call first. 615-737-1045. A drag show. Well, because he's got longer hair. Doesn't he have, like, long curly hair?
Not really. No, he doesn't. I love all this. Buck, like, has no idea who he is the best part of all of this.
Flowing locks?
Yeah.
Maybe honestly, I think it was just the wig that he was wearing for SNL 50, maybe.
Buck's like, didn't he sing Mambo number 5?
Isn't that the guy who...
Does that make me racist?
Went on a Broncos chase? Wasn't that him?
Broncos chase? What?
It was OJ. Not Bad Bunny. Wasn't that the guy who murdered his wife? No.
Okay.
Not Bad Bunny.
Oh, goodness. Nobody wants to see. I'm confused. Did he wear a dress one time?
I don't know, man. Let's just take the call.
People are dumb. All right. Dan in Lewisburg is next.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much, buddy.
Hey, we've been hearing about the Titans. Are they better this year? Are they worse this year? Are they same? Da-da-da. But I got an interesting stat for you. If you look at the first 4 games of Will Levis's career versus Cam Wart's first 4 games, Will only had 1 win. Of course, Cam has 0. I believe that Will was at like almost 59% on his completion percentage, where Cam's a little over 51%. Will had like 857 yards passing, and Cam had 614. Now, the touchdown to interception ratio was 6-2 for Will, and it's 2-2 for Cam. So the stats say that maybe Cam's in a worse situation than Will was last year.
Yeah, Dan, the thing that and we did bring that up in the first hour, and that's okay. I appreciate you bringing it back. The thing that's not in that tweet, which I'm sure you saw and was circulated, is Will Levis's fumbles.
Well, hold on. Is what he's referencing Will Levis's 4 starts, first 4 starts of his rookie year?
No. First 4 starts of last season.
Oh, well, those are not the numbers from last season. I've got Will Levis's first 4 starts from last season. I think a lot of people
Thanks for the call, Dan. We
are throwing around Levis's first 4 starts from his rookie year, too, and comparing it to Cam's first 4 of his rookie year.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Because Levis didn't have 800 yards in 4 games last year. Right. Obviously, the 4 touchdown performance against the Falcons in his debut inflated his numbers in his rookie year. Will Levis last year through the first 4 games, and a reminder that he left early against the Dolphins. He only attempted 4 passes against the Dolphins on Monday Night Football before leaving with that shoulder injury. But in those first 4 games, he was 67 of 98, a completion percentage of 68%, 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Okay.
That's not including fumbles. Cam Ward, in his first 4 games, 64 of 125, so completion percentage much lower, 51%. More yardage, 614 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So 2 less touchdowns, 4 less interceptions.
And so what did Will Levis also have in his rookie year that Cam Ward does not?
I suppose they were better.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel. I know people didn't like Tim Kelly at the time. Would you take Tim Kelly back? Like, you had a coaching staff that, again, they're not perfect. They're all in New England. They're 2-2. They're not a perfect football team. But they were a well-coached, disciplined football team, even though they did not win many games last year. Bottoming out for that staff was 6 wins. This staff would kill for 6 wins. This staff hasn't had 6 wins in a season. I mean, we're not halfway through a season and a quarter, we'll say. It's not even a... Will Levis had DeAndre Hopkins. Cam Ward has Calvin Ridley and the corpse of Tyler Lockett, respectfully to Tyler. I know that's not very respectful, but... I mean, you get what I'm saying. Like, the circumstance for Will Levis, his rookie season, was infinitely better than what Cam Ward is currently up against now. They got worse. They have gotten worse since they fired Mike Vrabel, which was the whole thing. It's not enough to win more games than you lose. Okay, well, now all you do is lose. And Cam Ward is, unfortunately, in the middle of this. So speaking of Brian Callahan, let's hear from the play caller and the offensive coordinator. Well, actually, let's start with this Brian Callahan clip, where he's talking about the conservative approach to the offensive football that the Titans have played through Cam Ward's first 4 games. This was Sunday night after the Houston loss.
I think it's a mix of a lot of those things. I think part of it's a rookie quarterback. I'm trying to make sure that you're putting them in the right spots. Part of it is, we lose our starting right tackle, 3 quarters into the season, and you're trying to help manage that, and you're trying to find ways to be explosive while trying to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. It's sort of this kind of continual flow of things that you're trying to balance, and try to run the ball to help. You're trying to lean on the running game to help a young player too. So all of it has parts where it factors in. And we've taken plenty of shots down the field. They've been called. We've tried to get the ball down the field, and whether the ball gets checked down or we have to move off our spot and we don't get the throw, there's certainly been calls that the ball hasn't gone down the field too, which is another part of it. So it's all of those things. And then we're trying to do the best we can to help a young quarterback and take some of the pressure off him while still trying to give him opportunities to make some plays down the field.
Okay, I'm sorry. I misspoke. That was yesterday. That was not Sunday after the game.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
So Brian Callahan explaining why it's looked the way that they've looked, and they don't have explosive plays. They don't have many explosive plays. They have less explosive plays than they did a year ago. Now let's hear from Bo Hardigree, who called Sunday's game, a game in which they were shut out. Bo Hardigree reacting to the Titans' first shutout since 2019.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we did not get the results we wanted. Obviously it was very exciting for me to be back there in a different role, with Cam. Like I said, my responsibility when you asked philosophy last week was score points and protect the football. Didn't do that. I got to do a better job getting Cam in rhythm, offense in the rhythm. And, our guys got to do a better job of just executing the plays when they're there. We had a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of calls I'd like to have back. But, learning it, but got to hit it rolling this week, get better, and keep grinding.
So that is Bo Hardigree. And then there is Nick Holtz, who also, I guess they're going to trot Bo Hardigree out every day or every Tuesday when they let the coordinator speak because he's calling the plays. So Nick Holtz, for the first time, was asked about being passed over as the offensive play caller.
Well, he's the personality, we'll start with that the competitiveness, he is not gun shy in any way, shape, or form. He's not beaten down anyway, or whatever. For being 0-4, I think you see that, and you see how much he cares and how much he puts into this. That's been good, and he's processing something new every week. So you look, and there's play 4 very kind of different defenses, and he's gotten kind of a whole different experience each week of how it's gone. So I think having him go through those experiences, and then the way he takes and the way he looks back, and he's good on Mondays, and every other day that he comes in of, okay, I saw this. Here's what's keep talking about it, and all those things keep coming up. And so I think it's we really like where he's going.
Okay, so the change in the play caller thing didn't work. Brian Callahan was asked yesterday if there was a sense of hopelessness in the building. And he said, well, I hope not. And, kind of perked up a little bit in terms of not like angry the way that he was on Sunday night, because we were pushing him, and PK specifically was pushing him on his description of his team as resilient and relentless, which I think it's fair to disagree with, even if Brian Callahan disagrees with you being disagreeable about it. The circumstance for Brian Callahan, how many more cards do you have left to play? And frankly, why are you still the head coach of a football team at 3-18? Is that fair to wonder? Can anybody in the room, give me a single good reason why Brian Callahan is still the head coach of the Tennessee Titans? I dare you.
I mean, it's not about what's a good reason for why he's still the head coach. It's also about, okay, what's the best reason to let him go after 4 games, right? Like, what do you get? What is the gain? What's the benefit?
Oh, they're getting worse.
They're getting worse because he's the head coach, and they're going to get better with an interim situation?
Certainly they haven't gotten better with him as the head coach.
They haven't.
So if it's getting worse,
I can see the logic of, as unlikely as it feels, Brian Callahan having the opportunity to turn this thing around and improving throughout the course of the season.
The only way I would ever fire a head coach in season is if he lost the locker room. That's the only way. Because 4 games, I know it feels like an eternity, but it's not bleep in the grand scheme of things. It is a small sample size in comparison to the whole season. If he still has the locker room after 4 games of losing, of getting their ass kicked, I would think that he would be able to keep them here through the whole season. Because what happens if they're 0-8, and then you fire Callahan, and then the new interim doesn't have the locker room?
Okay.
Everyone gives up. No one wants to play. We learn nothing about this current team. Rookies, sophomores, veterans, leaders, everyone ships off and gives up. This season is for nothing. If you keep Callahan and he keeps the roster, at least you can have Cam be in situations where he can go, okay, I remember my rookie year. It sucked. We had to fight through this, but I remember this one play where we did this. It didn't work, so we have to do this. If for nothing else, this season is another way for them to find out what they actually have and how they can win, I'm cool with it.
Do you have that Jeff Simmons clip I sent you yesterday?
Somewhere in here.
At your convenience. I would like to hear from Jeffrey in the postgame locker room. Now, here's the difference, okay? Because I understand that logic, and the weekly locker room is different than the postgame locker room because all they do is lose. They've lost 10 straight, right? So the postgame locker room is going to be more visceral. It's going to be more sad. It's going to be more miserable. Like all the different things, it's going to feel a bit more lost than they do. I'm not in the locker room every day. I'm in the locker room 4 days a week, 3 days a week. Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturdays and Sundays because I can't go on Fridays. It doesn't work out with the show schedule. That's not a big enough sample size for somebody like me to say, yeah, he's lost the locker room. But you had Brett Kern and Ben Jones in here yesterday talking about the checkout that they see from players. They're not in the locker room either, but they know a great deal more of those players than we do. They know more about the players. They can identify, and they are more qualified to describe body language than we are. Robert, you let me know when you're ready on that Jeff Simmons thing. It's on my Twitter from Sunday night if you want to. And again, this is Jeff post-game. So post-game is harder to deal with because it is right after the loss. And he's dealing with questions that he's had to answer for almost 3 years now, to Jeffrey's credit. I don't know that he's lost the locker room. I can't definitively say that one way or the other. But I know that the buy-in has to be low. There's no proof of concept. Brian Callahan himself is saying 2 weeks ago, we need to win to show these guys that what we're working towards matters.
Sure. I guess my question would be, okay, then how does that improve with an interim in place?
Accountability. It's not getting better. We're going to make a move here. We're going to give you guys a better chance to succeed. We believe that this is not the thing that's in your best interest. And it becomes a bit, Brett talked about this yesterday, right, where trading Jarvis Brownlee makes it a bit of an every man for himself vibe, and that divides the locker room right out of the gate. You've already taken a hatchet to the locker room. Let's hear from Jeff Simmons postgame Sunday night.
Because we playing bad football. Simple. We're not playing good football right now. I'm tired of hearing the same thing coming in the locker room. And I'm tired of saying it. We got to play better. I'm tired of saying it. It's like, this is the NFL. They wanted more than us. They played like they wanted more than us, and we're not playing good football right now.
You feel like preparation's been good? Like, have you liked what you're seeing during the week? It's just not showing up here on Sundays?
We had a great practice. Like, leading up to this game, like, that Thursday practice was one of the best practices we had. Friday, like, we talking, we doing everything. We making, the adjustments. Like, everybody's on the same page, and get to the game, and, a couple of them plays that we had, it just wasn't good enough, and especially getting late in the game when we are back against the wall and we having to go back out there and we don't put out the fire when we really need to put out the fire. And that's pretty much what it is.
The bewildering that disappears Thursday to Sunday? That you're good on Thursday and it goes away on Sunday?
Yeah, apparently so. We haven't played good football on Sunday to win a football game, so we got to eventually play good football to win football games on Sunday. That's it.
Jeff, this is the 10th consecutive loss going back to last year. How much does that wear on you guys collectively?
It's frustrating. It's frustrating as hell. And I said it after the game, in the locker room. We know we actually going to do the things we're talking about. Tackling, penalties, stop getting penalties in critical situations. And ultimately winning football games. It's draining. Like I said, we haven't played good football at the end of the day, and you see spurts throughout the game, but it's like, especially when it matter. When you go for it on 4th and 1, you go on the field, we give up a touchdown. Like, that's when we have to put out the fire, and we're not doing that right now. So
no one.
It's tough to wear Jeff down that way, and they are wearing him down.
Well, yeah, Jeff is playing good football. Like, Jeff is playing elite football.
If you break that guy, Lucas, where is the fight in your locker room?
Sure, man. I guess it's just, that's a down and frustrated Jeff after an 0-4 start. Is that a broken Jeff in a broken locker room? I don't know how to make that distinction and cross that bridge.
I'm not saying that, but...
Well, if you're not saying that, then what are you saying by playing that audio?
I'm saying that it's wearing them down week by week because it's almost 3 years of this, and of course that's going to wear down a locker room.
Of course it is. They're 0-4. They haven't had an identity. They haven't been able to hang their hat.
So you just want to let them ride it out, and you want to talk about wasting a season for nothing? Jeff is playing elite football.
Right, but then nothing's going to fix that.
Yeah,
Brian Callahan's not going to fix that. Nothing is going to fix this. There's nothing that's going to fix this. They suck right now.
Do we know that
sucks.
definitively?
No, we don't know anything definitively. We don't know if Callahan's...
I know what they're doing is not working.
Okay, what they're doing is not working through 4 weeks, but they didn't know that either.
Through 21 games, what they're doing is not working.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then fire him. You changed my mind. Here, I'm going to call him right now. Here, let me get Amy's number, 615-5510-45.
You're just going to call
How many
stranger.
people are going to call that?
Hold on, guys, it's ringing.
If you can get her on the phone, that'd be great. Be lovely to hear from her for
Amy?
once.
Hey, Amy, what's going on? Yeah, we figured it all out. The season's over with. Everything sucks. Just go ahead and fire Callahan and make it just as bad. Let's trade Jeff. You were thinking the same thing. Okay. Press conference next Tuesday. All right, see you then. Love you, Amy. Yeah, great to hear from you. Great to hear from you. Bye.
All right.
She's so nice. My phone rings like twice and she picks up. It's awesome.
Let me pose it to you this way then. What if the biggest reason that they're keeping him around is because the people that hired him don't want to answer questions about how wrong they got it? Is that a reason to keep him around? I'm serious. Is that if you are meat shielding a head coach who is clearly not succeeding and doesn't have answers as to how it's going to get better and continues to say the same thing after the same thing after the same thing, but you're an organization that doesn't want to look as wrong as you look right now, and you don't want to take the questions because somebody's got to get out there and answer it. If he gets fired, are you going to do that to Mike Borgonzi? there's a reason. There's more reasons here than what does it fix that he's not fired. It's because they don't want to have to deal with what comes after that. Because if they, the people that hired him, tell Amy, yeah, we got it loud wrong. We got it loud wrong. The Burke Nihill quote, we crushed it. You want to go tell your boss that, no, actually, we didn't. In fact, he's the worst coach in NFL history by win percentage.
If the end result is he's let go, then you have to do that anyway. It doesn't matter if you do it after week 4 or after week 17.
But what he's saying is if they do it now, then someone else, they have to answer for it. What you're providing is the only way that it makes sense for the people that you're providing it.
Correct.
They got to answer to it anyway.
Yeah, but then they could
still
put
hold a
someone.
press conference.
They could still put someone else up there. Like I understand. I feel like we're just having a marital dispute.
Oh, Callahan was asked if he has had any assurances made. If we should play that on the other side.
Why don't we just do it now since we're here?
Yeah, I don't. Whether I do or I don't, or it doesn't matter to me. My job is to try to put our team in position to win as many games as possible and to keep coaching until the day comes that they don't want me to coach here anymore. And that's the reality for everybody that coaches in the league. You don't think too much about it. I don't look for assurances. I can tell you I've always been supported here. I've always felt like the people that I have to work with on a day-to-day basis believe in what we're doing and how we're doing it. But again, I also know how the NFL works. So yeah, I go in every day and I work as hard as I possibly can to try to put ourselves in good position. And I do that for as long as they'll have me. And that's the only way I've ever known how to work. That's how I've worked every spot I've ever been. Your assurances come from how you play and you win. That's at the end of the day. That's just how it always goes. So we got to get ourselves to that spot.
This is me every day trying to decide whether I should go to the gym after work.
Yeah, I don't. Whether I do or I don't, or it doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter. Still going to look like this.
Still going to wake up in the middle of the night, eat a whole sweet potato.
Cheyenne bought me these garlic naan crackers from Trader Joe's, and I woke up today at falling asleep for Monday Night Football and just garlic naan crackers all in my chest hair.
I appreciate that he feels supported, and that matters for a coach. But the people that are supporting him also don't want to be held accountable for getting it this loud wrong. Last call for phone calls if you got them. I'm Buck Rising. It's 104.5 The Zone. Welcome back to the show, fueled by Hattie B's Hot Chicken. We got phone calls to take. We'll do a few. If we were going to do polls today, the polls would be presented by whom, Lucas? Because today is the last day for people to participate in the Fill a Ford food drive made possible by Two Rivers Ford.
Answered your own question.
The South's most trusted Ford dealer. All right, let's go to Will in Fairview.
Hey, guys, Buck, you hit the nail on the head in that last segment, man. You said it all. We can't keep doing what we've been doing. You're absolutely right. And what we've been doing is firing everybody fast as hell. And we've been giving up on people way too fast. I don't think Callahan's the problem so much. I believe it's the people above him.
Yeah.
The players, the coach, all of them. Anything above them is the real issue. We can keep firing coaches. We can bring in another coach, whatever. It's not going to fix nothing because that's what we've been doing. Callahan's probably going to get fired, I would imagine. But I think if you just ride this out, and one thing that everybody should listen to is what the players are saying. At this point, they don't sound like they've given up on Coach Callahan or the staff. They sound like they want to do something and build something. And if what they're saying is true, that practices are much better and this and that, maybe here in a week or two, a few weeks, maybe the Sundays will turn around as well. Maybe this is how you build a real solid culture and a real solid team over the years. Let them suffer through the worst. Let them grow together. Let them become something. But as long as we got the same ownership, and I think the common denominator also is that.
I hate to cut you off there, Will, but that's 60 seconds on the clock. We do appreciate the call. I think he agrees more with you than he does with me.
Yeah, watching your face develop over the course of that call was fantastic.
he was trying to do them pump fakes, man.
That was a good pump fake. Using Buck's own words against him. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, everybody in a position of power here is responsible for how bad they suck. So that's Amy, that's Chad Brinker, that's Burke Nihill, that's Brian Callahan. Yeah, I mean, it's across the board. I don't know how you fix it. Now, they're entitled to get this one wrong and get it right next time and learn from their mistakes. Absolutely they are. I just don't know what would give you the confidence that they would do that. Bill is in Bowling Green.
Hello, Buck. Great job. Hey, Buck, how long did it take Jimmy Johnson to turn the Dallas Cowboys around when he became coach? And he's a Hall of Fame coach.
Oh, I thought you were going to answer your own question, Bill. Go ahead.
Well, he asked you.
I was going to ask you. How long did it take? You have any idea how long it took him to turn them around, to turn the Dallas Cowboys around?
Answers. He's asking you questions.
I can't hear him.
Yes, he can. It took him about 3 seasons, Bill.
Okay. And also, if you look at this team, prior to the last draft, only 3 players of the last 4 drafts are actually on this team. 3 of them are on out and are playing, and 3 of them are on IR. 2 of them are not coming back. Burks and Will Levis are probably not coming back. So they don't have any players. And of the players they don't have that are not on this team, they're not on the other team either. They're out of the league or on a practice squad someplace. So the problem is you've got a rookie coach and no players.
Well, he's not a rookie. He's in year 2, but I appreciate the call. And also, yeah, they do have players. They have Jeff Simmons. They have Amani Hooker. They have Calvin Ridley. They have L'Jarius Sneed. Somehow these players got worse except for Jeffrey. Like, they're not – I'm tired of the roster being used as an excuse to support bad football. Like, yes, they were in a hole for a long time. 3 years of bad drafting put them in a hole. They're not in that hole anymore.
And they're still in a pretty big hole.
Tell Peter Skoronski and all these other players that are actually doing their jobs that. And for the other players who are getting worse.
So the roster is good.
It's coaching. See you tomorrow.